9 innings here at home, so he is going to command the strike zone. And again, his last win, even though he's pitched better than his record indicates, was on the 13th of April. So again, not a whole lot to show. They don't get him a whole lot of runs. He hadn't been hit particularly hard by lefties or righties. It just seems maybe 6 innings. Hopefully after that you really have to go to your bullpen.
And he's going to go to work here, and the pitch will be away from Cora, leading it off. Only 62 degrees at game time, much as it was last night. Ball not likely to carry very well with the wind swirling in. Pitch is up high for a ball. Cora had a 3 for 5 in the ball game last night. Cora getting work in the leadoff spot. Reyes continues out at shortstop, so he's in. And he's taking all the way for a strike, and it is 2-1. The Mets come in now 15-18 on the road, while the Orioles here at home are 19-17 on the season. 2-1 delivery, fooled him, way behind on it, and a 2-2 count.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the hamstring problems. His last start against the Mariners, probably not a litmus test of his ability as a pitcher because of the rain delay. Pitched very well, came back, and then struggled. Gave up 4 runs in 5 innings.
That one looped to second base. Roberts has got it, and there's the first out of the ball game. And we'll check in with Amber.
Well, Gary, in Koji's last start, Dave Tremblay really paid attention to his pitch count, but he said he's not going to do that tonight. Instead, he's going to focus on just how hard Koji is working to get batters out the deeper he goes into the game. He said Koji is a master of deception and messing up the timing of the opposing batter. He said when the batters are a little bit late or a little bit in front of the ball, that's when he knows Koji is still on his game. But when that's not happening, that's when it's time for him to come out. So that's what Dave Tremblay will be looking for tonight from Uehara. Gary?
All right. And here is Fernando Martinez. He is playing in left field at a 1 for 4 in the ball game last night. One of the youngsters of the Mets getting playing time, called up because of injuries. Pitch is taken away. Bear in mind that Uehara, age 34, a starter through most of his career in Japan, but the last 2 seasons was a reliever. And so he's not used to putting in the innings or throwing the number of pitches that's being asked of him this season, and he's had to readjust trying to get back to the role as a starter.
Yeah, and then you couple in the hamstring problems he's had during the season. Missed a couple of weeks in spring training. Conditioning not what it should be.
Got him. Good pitch. Uehara gets the strikeout.
Well, we talked about Mr. Splitter. He's got about as good a split-fingered fastball. What did Keith Hernandez, who broadcast for the the Mets, say? He said this was one of the toughest pitches to hit, and he could flat out hit, and that ball just dives down and away. And of course, Martinez only 20. You got to take advantage of him. One of those guys you pencil in is a guy you better get out with Beltran and Wright. Some of the other hitters coming up after him.
2 of the game's best hitters back-to-back in the lineup with Beltran and Wright. 2 down here. Beltran standing in with that big cut. He took an 0 for 5 in the ball game last night. Right now he is 4th in the National League at .336, 4th in on base percentage, 4th in doubles, tied for 9th in extra base hits. 1-1 delivery. Beltran takes it to center field. The bobblehead man is back. He'll get a play in the first, and he's got it. Jones makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Uehara. When we come back, a look at the starting lineup for the O's. Opener last night. Here's the starting lineup for the O's for this game. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Roberts, Jones, and Markakis. Huff, Morris, Scott, Reimold, Wieters, and Andino. Nick Markakis 2 for 4 and a home run. 2 RBIs last night.
And our PNC scouting report on Tim Redding, not Otis. Well, the misleading record. He has pitched much better recently. Had some shoulder problems on the DL early in June. That's his career average, 1-9 with over 6 runs a game. And when he gets ahead, he's really tough to hit. And when he gets behind, 1-0, they're hitting 340.
There are the numbers for the former National, 31 years old, who last season went 10-11 in Washington. Brian Roberts leads it off. Roberts shows bunt, pulls it back. Brian had his hit streak ended in the ball game last night. Brian had a 6-game hit streak but went 0 for 5 in the opener of last night's game. Roberts still third in runs in the league, and Brian will take that one to left field. Martinez a late jump, but plenty of time to get under it. 1 away.
Take a look at the Mets defense. They play their home games at a big ballpark, a little bit more cozy here at Camden Yards. Martinez, Beltran, he's won 3 Gold Gloves. Church and Wright with a couple of Gold Gloves. Cora at shortstop played great last night with his 3 hits. Castillo, 3-time Gold Glove winner. Murphy has moved over to first, and then Brian Snyder, nice night last night with a couple of hits. The veteran catcher with Santos not playing again. And he's been red hot with the bat.
Yeah.
Another Mr. Bobblehead.
Mr. Bobblehead.
Has a ring to it, doesn't it?
It's his night. So we'll see whether or not he takes advantage of it as the fans picking up the Adam Jones bobblehead, blowing the bubble, robbing an opponent of a home run. 0-1 count on him. He had a 1 for 5 in the ball game last night. 3-game hit streak for Adam. And off the end of the bat off Redding's slider away and a 2-strike count.
Yeah, Redding lost to the Phillies in a game. He only gave up 3 runs in 7 innings. And I watched the game. Wasn't broadcasting the Orioles, and he really moved the ball around. 87 to 89. Good changeup. Working on a cutter. Got a curveball and a slider to go with it.
0-2 delivery on the way. Jones will foul that one back on a fastball.
But he's not overpowering. That's probably his hard. I never saw him throw any that kind of velocity against the Phillies. But the one thing that he did do, you talked about the 10-11 record. The Nationals were the worst team in baseball, at least record-wise. 20-13 in his starts last year.
A very impressive number that the team would perform that well. I mean, that had to be the best on the staff for the Nationals last year, with the team winning in games started. The struggle's been a bit harder this season. Jones with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Redding works quickly. Jones will take it the other way, and that is going to be a foul ball. Orioles last night picked up 4 runs on 7 hits, generally enough to give you a chance to win, but by the time they got those runs in the 9th inning, the ball game had pretty much run away from Dave Tremblay's team because of the errors and the 3 unearned runs. So they just look to steady the ship a little bit here tonight, give themselves a chance to rubber match tomorrow. First inning runs. Both of these teams can produce runs in the first inning. Most in the majors you're looking at there. The Mets 50 and the Orioles with 44.
Yeah, that kind of an impressive. It's also an intriguing number for whether it's the Dodgers or the Orioles. I was wondering, Gary, when you think about that, do you think that maybe you prepare better for the starting pitcher than you do some of the relievers, because you see them, you see the film, get a better handle on them?
Well, they're the ones you're looking at.
Yeah, exactly. And then, obviously you're at the top of your lineup. We know how the Orioles have done so well because, Roberts and Markakis and Jones have been so hot throughout the year.
And he's worked the count from an 0-2 to a 3-2. The other interesting part about scoring runs in the first inning is that these two teams, the Mets and the Orioles, are also the only teams in the majors who have allowed more than 40 runs in the first inning. So there's a lot of offense in the first couple of innings when these two teams play both ways. 3-2 delivery. Jones again plunks it the other way.
And you wonder, because we look at the Orioles, they had a ineffective and an injured laden starting staff early on, and they made some changes, and we're going to see those over the next couple of months. And then the Mets, of course, with Perez out, Maine out, they've lost 40% of their starting pitching. So you just wonder that maybe their starter's not as as good as you would like.
3-ball, 2-strike delivery again. And what a walk that was. Did he earn that one? Only 13 walks surrendered. And that will put Jones on, and Markakis coming up. Nick's got the bat going again, as last night he delivered a single and an RBI. With the home run, his 8th of the season. Couple of runs batted in on it. 21-game home run drought over. 14-game RBI drought over. And that's good news not only for Markakis, but also for the Orioles offense, as obviously having Nick hitting is vital. Markakis in the 3rd hole against the right-hander. Redding against the Mets for only the 2nd time in his career, and that's going to be a base hit into right field. Jones will make a turn. He will stay as Church fires it all the way into 3rd, knocked down by Wright. So we talked about first inning offense. The Orioles with 1 down, 2 on.
Yeah, again, right here, I mean, it looks like a high fastball. And last night, Pelfrey pitched him away. He singled to left, threw him a changeup, hit the 2-run home run to end that drought. But again, we're looking at a 25-year outfielder in his 4th year that's a .299 lifetime hitter. He can flat out hit. And again, as any hitter, when you're going to get 550 at bats at plate, you're going to have the peaks and the valleys. But sooner or later, he just does too many good things at the plate to go into any kind of prolonged slump.
Now Aubrey Huff gets the shot. 4-game hit streak continued last night. He had a 1 for 4. Breaking ball will miss inside. Aubrey's .304 with runners in scoring position, about 60 points higher, 40 points higher than his overall batting average coming into the ball game. He has been one of the Oriole leaders all season in RBIs, as he's got 41. And he'll take the fastball away. Nick Markakis with 42 runs batted in as the leader for the Orioles in the RBI department, and just 1 behind him is Adam Jones, who's got 41, and Aubrey Huff with 41.
Yeah, that batting average down because of the 200 average against lefties. I mean, he's a .278 lifetime hitter against left-handed pitching. There's a changeup in a fastball count, and that's the type of pitcher that Tim Redding is. Again, not that overpowering. 92 is probably trying to throw harder than he really can because he's more comfortable at about 88.
40 RBI players, there aren't many. Orioles have the 3, the Indians and the Phillies. Luke Scott's not far behind, being a 4th with 36. 2-1 delivery by Redding. Huff will reach. He's got a base hit. Going to bring Jones home. Church coming in. No play at the plate. He'll just lob it back, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead. Aubrey Huff, the RBI. Mr. Bobblehead is bouncing.
And I tell you what, he really earned that walk, as you mentioned. Fouled off some real hitter's pitch, and here's the changeup again, and you can see by Exmo, Aubrey's out in front of it, but he's able to get it by Daniel Murphy into right field, and then because not only the good speed by Adam Jones, but a great jump.
Good at bat by Aubrey Huff after he got fooled on a couple of pitches, so he's got 42 RBIs, tying Markakis for the team lead. Now Melvin Mora. Mora's got a 5-game hit streak going. Ground ball to short. Taylor made for 2. Cora. And the relay throw made by Castillo. So that will do it. The Orioles will get a run on a couple of hits with 1 base runner left on, and it's a 1-0 O's lead. the Maryland Lottery for every Oriole home run hit tonight. You can have a chance to win too. Enter by logging in MASNsports.com. Michelle, good luck. It'll be a tough night for the homers with the air as heavy as it is with rain around in the area, and the wind, which was swirling, is pretty much stopped now. Ball didn't carry particularly well in the last time.
Yeah, Luke Scott said he thought he hit a ball to left field that normally would have had a chance to go out. And then the only home run, really, the Markakis home run, and that was later on in the game.
Here's David Wright, leading hitter in the majors. He is second in hits in the National League. Pops that one up first base. Aubrey Huff. Let's get this over with right now.
Put the other one behind you. Yeah. One thing about Louis Hara, we talked about only the 2 walks in 29 innings. It's actually 30 now, and he's getting into his 31st inning. But the amazing thing to me, and he has that track record of not walking anybody in Japan, 206 walks in almost 1,600 innings. I mean, those are amazing numbers, but he doesn't give in to hitters. It's on his terms. And again, pitching so much feel, it looks to me, and you made such a cogent point before about being a reliever the last 2 years, but he really does command the baseball.
That is true. Ryan Church will take it down low. I'm beginning to think for Koji Uehara that stamina may be the #1 concern to have about him and what he's going to do as a starter. 1-0 delivery, particularly as the weather heats up. This unseasonably cool weather is very favorable for Uehara. But when it gets to summer in Baltimore and that humidity and the temperatures are up, how will he fare as a starter in games here? 2-0 delivery on the way. Church drills that one into the gap in right center field. Had to take a couple of hops and hit the wall. He's on his way to second base. And Ryan Church, who had a 1 for 5 last night, kicks it off tonight with a double. Gary Sheffield, the designated hitter, coming up for Sheffield. It's all about the long ball. It's about getting to the number 500, which he has done as he continues up the list, playing in another season that he really didn't thought he would play, passing Eddie Murray on the all-time home run list for what is obviously a magic number when it comes to home runs, and that's 500. Runner on at second base, and he takes it outside. 500's a big number in this way on this date. At Candlestick Park in 1970, Ernie Banks and Willie Mays, who had already hit 500, both had a home run in the same game. It was the first time ever 2 500 home run hitters caught one in the same ball game. And 2 more deserving there couldn't be in that department than Banks and Mays. And since then, home runs in the same game by double 500 hitters. Sosa and Griffey the last 2, Bonds and Palmeiro, Aaron and Mays and Banks back in 70. That's been it. I mean, #1, you don't have many 500 hitters at one time playing.
There's only 25 in the history of the game.
Yeah, so there aren't many active at once, and to get them both to hit one in the same game, that's a big thrill. 4 times over it's happened.
And the amazing thing about Sheffield is he's also 25th in RBIs. So he can drive runners in. You can see the numbers right there, 10 for 26 in interleague play.
Sheffield cranks it, fouls it back. There'll be no play on it. 1-2.
And I asked him, I said, at 40, do you feel like you have to cheat on the fastball? He said, no, because the games that I have seen him play over the last 10 days look like he was expanding the strike zone in. He said, but over the weekend, that's what the Yankees tried to do. Pound him in, of course, but it was way in. And over the years, and I don't know if it's still true at 40, even though he certainly can still hit. Quickest bat that I've seen.
He really whips it,
yeah.
And it's as hard a cut as he's taken. One of the problems last year with the Tigers was physically he couldn't do that the way he wanted to. He couldn't give it that full cut,
yeah, right,
and he
there.
never found a way to adjust.
He had that shoulder surgery, so again, that front arm so important for the extension and quickness to the ball.
1-2 count. Church on at second base. Sheffield off the end of the bat fouls it away again, and it will stay at 1-2.
And the amazing thing about a guy that can hit all these home runs, 506, and all the RBIs, is that he's never struck out 100 times.
Old school.
Yeah, and swing that hard, but again, it's the ability to center the ball, and he has hit, from my vantage point, some of the hardest line drives I ever see hit. scorched balls. I mean, they just low line drives that just take off.
I would think as a pitcher, this has to be one of the pitchers are not necessarily fearful, but one of the most concerned hitters you face in regards to a ball coming back up the middle.
Well, the guys that I worried, yeah, you know, I mean, Jim Rice is getting in the Hall of Fame. Frank Howard, guys that Reggie, guys that could just center the ball and hit it as hard. And George Scott was another guy that really hit the ball. I mean, guys that hit the ball back up the middle and then to right center. Rice was so adept at doing that.
1-2 delivery on the way. Sheffield went around. He's gone. He knew it. No argument. Well, hold up. 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, Mr. Splitter. That was one of our PNC scouting reports right here. Get ahead. And we saw what happened. And there you go. There is the tumble. See, it comes out like a fastball, except you split your fingers. And the Expo shows you that. And the ball actually has this tumbling effect. And the good ones, you don't really discern the spin. It doesn't look that much different from the good fastball.
Here's Daniel Murphy. He will take the pitch down low for a ball. Murphy with a potential tying run on at second base. Trying to pick up the RBI here. Murphy had an 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. And this is the bottom part of the order that, because of the injuries, is one the pitchers have to go after. You've got to get Murphy, Snyder. Castillo is hitting the ball better in the number 9 spot, but Murphy and Snyder are a couple in the lineup you really want to get out of there and not let hurt you. 1-1 delivery to left field. Reimold over's not going to get it. He hurt him. This is a tie ball game as Murphy delivers an RBI single and Churchill had the double scores.
Oh, he showed you that 1 for 10 on the road trip, but last year he came up out of the minor leagues. He goes 10 for 20, 30 for his first 81, and this is what he did well. And you can see Matt Wieters move up and in, and the ball runs out over the plate. So they don't get the ball where they wanted to, and Murphy takes advantage of it.
Good job of hitting by Murphy, and that's his 21st run batted in. So he's on at first base. It is a 2-out RBI. And the catcher, Brian Snyder. Snyder had a good night last night as he ended up with a 2 for 3. A couple of hits in the ball game, single, double, RBI, also drew a walk.
Yeah, the one of them, the RBI single, went right through the legs of Jeremy Guthrie. And that was, what, the 4th run in that 4-run 4th inning.
Snyder on a check swing ground ball. Brian Roberts will have plenty of time and gets the out. But a run in on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base, going to the bottom of the 2nd here at Camden Yards. Tie game. His walk-off home run. You get 4 seats. You also get an autographed picture of Matt Wieters getting his first major league hit. For details, 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Day game today. The Angels beat San Francisco 4-3. As Lincecum started the ball game and lost it, he gave up 4 runs, 8 hits over 8 innings. He's now 6-2. Gibson got the win for the Angels in relief. Fuentes got his 16th save. Ishikawa had the only home run, came for the Giants in the ball game.
Yeah, Lincecum doesn't lose very often, does he? Last year's Cy Young Award winner in the National League.
And pitching well.
Yeah.
Strike taken by Luke Scott. Designated hitter. 5-game hit streak for Luke. 315, 14 homers, 36 RBIs. Those numbers tend to get lost a bit in the shuffle, but I mean, those are tremendous numbers. He continues as DHs in the American League. He's 3rd in average, 3rd in RBIs, and 1st in DH home runs.
And he's 9 behind of what the home run total last year, when he had some problems with the Achilles tendon in his back foot, his left foot, his push off. He just realized, it seems to me, that it's a different stance this year, a healthier Luke Scott. 2nd year with Terry Crowley, and he's learned the league. They try to get him out with a lot of change up, slow stuff, but he can hit the fastball.
1-2 delivery to him. That'll be inside. Tim Redding on the mound for the Mets, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Redding has actually faced the Orioles before, but it was way back when he pitched for Houston in 2003, and he was non-decisioned in a ball game that he started and went 4 innings in. A whole different time and place. 2-2 delivery, and Scott with a big cut is the first strikeout victim.
Well, Dan Warthen came on last year when Jerry Manuel became the manager, and done a terrific job, and that's the cut fastball that he has worked with Tim Redding. So it just gives you extra movement. Watch this ball just kind of veer in. You think it's going to stay in the middle of the plate, and just keeps coming at the left-hand hitter. And one thing about Tim Redding, he's got a very simple windup. Step back on his toe, break your hands over your knee, and go.
Reimold takes it away for a ball. Nolan hitting at .281. 3 doubles, 7 homers in the extra base hit department for him. Had an 0 for 2 in the opener last night. 1-0 pitch is going to be put in the air and foul. Speaking of last night, there's a young lady named Lane celebrating a birthday. We're continuing to today from her real birthday yesterday. Tim Walbert is our director. Lane is his daughter. So happy birthday, Lane. And I apologize that I didn't get it in last night, but hey, birthday should be extended. So we'll continue the celebration today.
No older, really.
No older.
Maybe a day, but the number's the same.
No, and the father has advised us that there will be no additional presents despite our attempt to continue the day. Fastball is taken inside, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Take the rest of that cake. 2-2 delivery, and that is foul back, and the count will stay at 2-2. Orioles in this homestand have won 3 and lost 4. The game tonight and tomorrow, the final 2 ball games of the homestand. And then they're on to Philadelphia for a weekend series for 3. Way outside, slider away, and another 3-2 count.
Now, the one thing about Nolan Reimold, I had heard about him for years. He's got 1,400 at bats in the minor leagues, plus a couple. Never realized he had this kind of plate discipline. 3-2,
and he's on again.
I mean, he can hit the ball out anyway. He can hit it to right. He can hit it to left. If you hang a breaking ball, reminds me of the old fat. A lot of young hitters, they duck the hanging breaking ball. He airs it out, which is what Yogi Berra said one year. He said, they're ducking pitches that got me into the Hall of Fame. And, he was a great high ball hitter, as was a lot of the guys that I faced. But Nolan Reimond's got that old fashioned, hey, you hang it up there, I'm going to hit it hard somewhere. Yeah.
Matt Waiters. Waiters will take the ball in the air to left field. It is on the warning track. It is at the wall. And goodbye. Home run. Numero uno. Matt Waiters.
Well, I guess that answers our question whether the ball's carrying. He hit it high. Again, it's only about 360 out there. Not a bad pitch, but he just goes out and covers the outside corner. Gets it in the air. And right here, Martinez going to go back and back and back. And there you go. First row souvenir.
Fans already want a curtain call. Coach Uehara mighty happy he got it. And how about that fan? Here's Andino. And the Orioles back on top 3-1. First career home run by Matt Wieters. And if you're the fan that caught that, you're darn right you're excited. I don't know if Matt will get that back or not. Probably at this point he doesn't care. Here's the 0-1. Andino over the screen. Redding doesn't give up the home run very often. He's only surrendered 2 prior to that one. 1 to a righty, 1 to a lefty. So the third off the Mets starter. 0-2 delivery to Andino. Check swing. Foul ball.
Well, that's the 49th home run the Orioles have hit at home this year. They've only hit 25 on the road.
Here's the man that caught the baseball, and you saw how excited he was when he got it. He still is. He'll be smiling like that for about a week. 1-2 delivery and a strike 3 called.
Yeah, that home run traveled 366 feet. And I gave up enough of them to know it doesn't matter if they go 366 or 319. They get over the wall.
They're gone.
They're gone.
That takes a load off Matt.
Well, you got to get it out of the way. And,
yeah.
I mean, he still hasn't gotten a hit with a runner in scoring position, but now we know when they're on first, they're in scoring position.
He's going to take the ball probably down and get something from Matt Wieters in return after the game. Pitch is bounced in the dirt. Brian Roberts up, flying out to left field. His first time up.
Tim Redding said, you know, I don't know if this is a good idea. Strike out the first batter, walk the next, give up a home run, strike out the next guy.
This is not a good ratio. No. 1-0 delivery to Roberts. Brian flied out to left. 0 for his last 6 here in the first 2 games of this 3-game set. The 1-1 delivery by Redding, and a fastball will be taken up high, and the count will go to 2-1.
And boy, that really gets your attention if Matt Wieters hits a pitch that is a pretty good pitch. One down the middle. He's on the outside part of the plate. And all of a sudden he takes it the other way.
That one hit hard to second base. Castillo, and Roberts is retired. But the Orioles get 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. And a moment to be remembered as Matt Wieters delivers his first major league home run, giving the Orioles a 3-1 edge. And by PNC. PNC leading the way. Koji Uehara staked to a 2-run lead now, 3-1. Orioles have the lead for the second time in the ball game. Luis Castillo batting in the number 9 spot will take the pitch for a strike. The speedster has done a good job getting on base in the bottom of the order. He was 1 for 4 in the ball game last night, and quickly a 2-strike count.
Well, we talked about it last night. Lost 17 pounds last year, probably the lowest batting average in recent history at 245 in his first year. So again, for them to be better, they won 89 games last year, lost on the last Sunday of the season. He's got to be healthy. He's got to steal some bases. Already the 7 steals out of 9 attempts.
He's a switch hitter, 323 right-handed, 254 left-handed. Slash type hitter, couple of triples, 6 doubles. 2-2 delivery to him. Tried to punch it and fouls it back into the screen. He has got a 16-game hit streak going against the Orioles that goes back to the year 2000. The highest batting average against the Orioles since that season. Jose Offerman is 1. Castillo is 2. Offerman 408 against the O's and Castillo 405. Now that's not many at bats, and obviously interleague play, it's widely dispersed. Nevertheless, a 16-game hit streak over 9 years. Uehara 2-2.
And they play. I mean, it's unbelievable. And again, this is your scouting report, your advanced scouts, how shallow Jones is playing and Reimold in left field. It's just, this is where apparently they think. And I think this is fine when you're not the 3-2. 3-2, you got to take a couple of steps back.
Got him.
Yep. Oh, terrific pitch right there. And again, really the first run came on just a 2-0 count. So all of a sudden he gets ahead, 2-2. Not a splitter. Just pinpoints that outside corner, nicely presented by Matt Wieters. And so Tim Timmons could make the call.
1 away. He's retired all 3 leadoff batters so far. Does that pretty well. 68% of the time Uehara gets the leadoff man in an inning. Back to the top of the order. Here is Alex Cora, lined out to second base. His first time up. Cora a strong 3 for 5 in the opener of the ball game last night, and in the leadoff spot he too has got some decent speed, not nearly as fast as Castillo. Fouls that one off, and Uehara gets ahead on the count, 2 strikes.
No, he plays terrific shortstop. And as we talked about last night, he's just and they learned it in Boston. I mean, great utility player. Can play second, can play shortstop, play just about anywhere.
And he tries to punch that one through and will foul it back.
I asked Sandy Alomar Jr. Sandy Alomar Sr. is a bench coach, but Sandy Alomar Jr. his second year as a bullpen coach. I said, tell me about Matt Wieters. You were a 6-time All-Star. You were a big guy. He said, I tell you what, some of the softest hands I have seen.
It's a great compliment.
Yeah, it really is. He said, maybe get a little bit wider. He said, Dennis Martinez told me one time, he said, get the legs out. I want to see a shoulder. I want to see a knee. Make sure you get the glove up. Nice little target. Because again, that's what you're throwing at. And it's not easy being 6'5" and catching. I think the one thing, and I mentioned this the other night, is that what I like about it is he does get down. And I threw the fist, through the free hand, big catchers, and for a big guy, he really does be able to give you a low target.
2-2 delivery and a chopper right off the plate that is foul. May have caught a bit of the helmet as it came up as well. It'll stay at 2-2. Uehara is really moving along in this game. One of the things we talked about with Wieters behind the plate is with these pitchers who will do it, Wieters believes in a very fast pace. He likes to keep guys going. 2-2 delivery, and that'll be fouled away. So he gets down quickly, gives the sign quickly, and tries to get a pitcher in a rhythm that he can stay in inning after inning. And he's very conscious of doing that with the staff. Here's the 2-2, and right off the end of the bat, foul. Boy, that's a great protection swing right there by Cora.
Well, again, Alex Cora hadn't hit any home runs. Doesn't have a whole lot of at bats. I mean, Reyes is their normal shortstop. He's got the calf and then the hamstring problem, so he's been out for almost 3 weeks now.
And there you see Cora trying to slow this thing down a little bit.
Well, most guys do because they've Most guys will wrap both of their gloves in between at bats. Between pitches.
2-2 delivery. And he's got a base hit. So a single for Cora in the leadoff spot, coming with one away. Martinez coming up. Want to remind you, Adam Jones, Nick Markakis are both in the running for the All-Star game. You can vote for your favorite Orioles at Orioles.com. Vote orange, save green by voting for the Birds the maximum 25 times. You'll receive a free upper reserve seat to any non-prime O's game after the All-Star break. Vote early and often. Details at Orioles.com/vote orange. Is the All-Star game suddenly closing in?
No, is it ever?
A month away. That'll be foul back. Martinez, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Orioles up 3-1. Each team's got 3 hits in the ball game. Koji Uehara getting his first start against the Mets. Quick toss over to get Cora back to the bag.
Yeah, he actually has stolen and attempted 6 steals, 5 of them successfully. And the Mets do lead the National League in stolen bases. Come in with 64 of them. This is part of their game. Situational hitting. The new ballpark, Citi Field, huge. Jerry Manuel, he understands. He said, if we're going to win, we're going to have to situational hit. We're going to have to advance runners. We're going to have to maximize our offense that way.
Pops that one up behind the plate, and there'll be no play.
Especially when you lose Delgado with 39 home runs. And we talked about his hip injury. I talked to the trainer today, and he said he's actually doing quite well. But when you get to be in your late 30s, it is difficult to project that a guy's going to be back on a certain day. And I looked at A-Rod. Now he's hitting home runs. He's hitting 224.
Yeah. And they're not sure Delgado will be ready at the end of July, which is their hoped-for date. 1-2 delivery on the way. Another one fouled back, and there'll be no play. This is a 20-year-old out of the Dominican Republic who's only in his 4th professional season. A .282 hitter in the minors. Coming into this season, he had only played 226 games in minor league baseball. So a very young player getting a chance early because of injuries with a big club. Uehara just missed with that one away. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Martinez. Martinez has had only 42 at bats, and it's only his 13th game since being recalled from AAA.
Yeah, AA hitter last year at Binghamton.
That one in the air, and it'll be Jones coming over. He's got it. Martinez is retired. 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
Well, that's what you were talking about. A pretty good swing, but again, the splitter just moved enough where he couldn't center it. And Koji doesn't have a lot of those easy innings. And ultimately, even though his fastball tonight at 90, again, a lot of splitters trying to get him out in front. And the problem has been maybe the 6th inning where they've seen it 3rd time through the order, and the hitters have made some adjustments. That and lack of run support. Make him better tonight. Get him another 3 runs.
Give him a cushion to throw more strikes.
Yep.
Beltran flied out to center field. His first time up in the ball game. Swings at one, going down and away, and a 1-strike count. And our leaderboard tonight is presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. David Wright is at the top of the pile in the National League. The former Oriole Miguel Tejada. Hop right behind in Colorado, and then Beltran. Runner going left field, coming on. Reimold coming. Not going to get it, but a great stop, and will hold him to a single. Boy, if that had gotten by, that would have been a whole lot of trouble, but Reimold able to somehow short hop that on the backhand. It'll be a base hit.
Yeah, I think once he commits himself, Gary, he has no choice. He thinks he might get there and coming hard, and then right there, ball just tailing away, and he's able to come up with it. Outstanding play. Not only does he get to it, he keeps Beltran, who, 4th in doubles in the National League with 20 at first base. So now you have yourself a force play.
Trouble for Uehara. 4 hits on the board for the Mets. They have the corners covered. 2 down. And David Wright, Major League's leading hitter at the plate. He popped out his first time up. Wright coming in with an 11-game hit streak. You see the home run totals as the power has increased. 1-0 delivery. He was going for a long ball right there. 101.
Well, he popped him up and in the first time. And again, I think, right when you're a 309 lifetime hitter and you can hit for power and you can hit for doubles and you can spray it all over the field, it really becomes one of those pitchers meetings. High and tight, low and away. There it is.
And there it is again.
Down and away.
Wright hitting .351 with runners in scoring position. Just one of the many gaudy numbers he has.
Well, he's done about everything. I mean, 18 steals.
And he will strike out, however.
Yep.
1-2 delivery. Like that. Got him. O'Hara gets the K. 2 in the inning, 4 in the game, leaving runners at first and third. 3-1 O's.
That's one less question I got to answer. I can tell you that, and I'm sure it's nice for him, for the team, great for the fans, and the guy's going to have a great career, and that's one he'll long remember, I'm sure.
You have a formula on how you're going to use him?
Yeah, I said I'm going to catch him 5 days a week. I'm going to split it up. Zon's done a nice job for us, so I got to get him in there a couple days a week, and I'm going to try and do the best I can with Wieters. Let him compete. Let him get some success, but also, I'm not here to, overload him.
Yeah, Nolan Ryman, did you manage Nolan in the minor league, Rymo?
I had him a couple years in instructional league.
Was he always as disciplined as he is now?
He was. He doesn't chase a lot of bad pitches. The bad pitch that he always chased early was the bad slider, the bad breaking ball, and he's really improved that. You can see tonight, most teams, what they try to do is they try to get him to chase up. He's such a very good low ball hitter. He's had a couple of tremendous at-bats recently, working the count, gets 2 strikes, foul him off, not chasing, doesn't expand his own. He's been a real nice addition to our team.
What were you thinking when he short hopped that ball down the left field line?
I was yelling from the dugout, don't dive, don't dive, don't dive. Keep it in front of you.
He made a nice play.
Yeah, he did.
That was a tough play.
Yeah, he's, T-Bone's done a nice job with him. We bring him out here early. A lot of times, especially first games of a series, when there's nobody here, and T-Bone will take him through the lineup hitter by hitter and show him basically where the positioning is. And he's made some very good adjustments.
There's John Shelby you're looking at. Markakis singled his first time up. Adam Jones the first out on the ground ball. That one ripped into right field.
There's another question I don't have to answer for a while either. About somebody asked me about Nicky. Nicky's going to hit 20 home runs and be closer, have 100 RBIs when it's all said and done. The guy has balance, uses the whole field. He's a great hitter.
Well, he's got now 25 hits to left, 26 hits up the middle, and 27 to right. And we always talk about players. I got to imagine he's one of those guys you really don't have to worry about too much, do you?
I talked to him when I think maybe, he's pressing like everybody else. He's human, but Nick Markakis, I know these kind of terms are overused a lot in hyperbole. Nick's a very special guy. He's unassuming. He doesn't get all caught up into a lot of things. He just likes to play. That's all. He just wants to play.
Aubrey Huff had a single and an RBI his first time up. Runner at first, one away. Each team 4 hits now.
You guys got my signs, so I can't give any signs during this.
No, we're not going to. We're not going to show you.
I told Juan before I went on there. Juan, we kind of got some verbal things.
So you got verbal things going.
Well,
okay.
Well, we won't give away the home run sign.
Oh, I'd love to see one right over that AT&T sign. Believe me, boy, I'd sleep a whole lot better tonight.
Yeah, how are you sleeping?
What's that?
I said, how are you sleeping?
I said, what's that? Sleep.
Yeah.
That's overrated.
That's the thing you're not doing at night.
Oh.
Hey, how about Koji tonight? A little bit extra on the fastball.
Well,
at least it appears that early.
Yeah, I think, he looks like he's got a little bit more life to his I think the cool weather's, he likes it. I think it plays to his advantage. He's had 6 days in between. I think he's feeling stronger. His angle on his pitches are more downhill. His delivery's better. Let's remember he missed over 2 darn weeks before he pitched again. He hasn't faced any hitters. This is his second time through. I hope we haven't put the whammy on him. I'd like to see him go deep in the game and us score a lot of runs.
2 ball, 1 strike count here. They seem to think you put the run sign, hit and run or steal sign on here, Skip.
Well, it's my leg. One leg up means he's going. The other leg up means he's not going. So I just switched legs because maybe Sandy Alomar's got my signs. I'm telling you the truth.
Oh, I believe you. 2-1. And he's not going. And the pitch is taken inside for a ball. Skip, I've asked you this before, and we've done a couple of shows together. Interleague play, you like interleague play?
I think anything that promotes the betterment of the game is great for the players and great for the fans. And Jim Palmer was fortunate enough, as I hope someday a lot of these guys are fortunate enough to play, in postseason. So I think it's just really a neat thing for baseball to be able to do it. You get the best against the best. Guys get to play guys that they don't very often. So I think it's a lift.
And the fly ball up by Huff, 2 away. Markakis goes back to first base, and that'll bring Melvin Mora up.
Well, Dave, should we leave you and let you give some signs?
Well, I gave one. Did you see my leg up?
And he went.
You saw Nicky go, didn't you?
He even saw it.
Yeah, well, now I got to stop it because, I'm hoping Melvin hits a gap or Nick scores from first. But we'll let Markakis see if he can pick a breaking ball within the first 3 pitches and run.
2 down here. Mora will take it outside. So, just explain that, Skip. One last question. What you just said about Mora, the sequence you're looking for here with Melvin at the plate.
Well, he's going to get a breaking ball at some point in time. And if he gets it, I would expect he's going to put a hurting on it. And that'd be the good time for Nicky to run. There it is.
And Nick's got the green light down there in these situations?
Well, he did, but I just took it off.
Okay.
Because back-to-back pitches, Redding has used the old slide step. So, Sandy Alomar's over in that dugout. And Sandy and I were with the Cubs all those years in my league. So I learned a lot of this stuff from him. He was a very, very, very good base runner.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Skipper joining us here with Mora at the plate. Foul back. That was the one he wanted.
I was talking to you yesterday, and I know you have great respect. You managed against David Wright.
Yes, I did.
And what did you tell me?
Yeah, he was a varsity playing, against the JVs in AA. I was at Bowie, and he was, at Binghamton, and then when he was in AAA, I was in Ottawa. You could tell right away the guy was special.
Coming close, Skip. We never cease to marvel at your ability to do these interviews and continue to give signs and run a ball game and know the counts. And
Palmer didn't need to throw sidelines in between starts either and go out there and win 20. I mean, come on. It's like riding a bike. I mean, gosh darn it. All those bus rides,
All right, there. Dave, thanks very much.
Okay.
We appreciate it, Bill. Dave Tremblay joining us on our Wired Wednesday. And that ball is popped up shallow center field. Beltran coming, and he'll get there. Mora retired, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Our Wired Wednesday continues 3-1 O's. For those bubbles going just about in any situation, anytime, including catches like that will be remembered on a bobblehead like this, being given to the first 25,000 fans who came in tonight. And as his agent, I just want to advise all of the makers of gum, which you can blow bubbles with, that we are always available to talk and discuss a deal where you could run video of Adam blowing bubbles on the field.
You are a caring guy, aren't you?
I am a caring guy. That one bunted, and that's going to be a base hit. A great bunt to start it out, and of all people, Ryan Church.
Well, we talk about bunting. It could be anybody. If they give it to you, take it. Look where Melvin is. So he just looked down there. Now the question is, can you execute it? And I can't imagine, when we talked about you got to hit 80 straight curveball, that the Mets don't work on these kind of things, because this is the kind of ball club they are. Bigger field. Just in case you get injuries, can you help us win other than hitting home runs? That is the theory of Jerry Manuel. He wants everybody to be the best players they can be.
Boy,
and he's demanding that they apply themselves to being there.
So a tremendous infield single bunt right there that puts the leadoff man on and brings Gary Sheffield to the plate. The Orioles have the 3-1 lead in the game. Sheffield, the DH, a strikeout victim. Runner at first. Guajar's pitch is taken inside for a ball. It's a situation where Church just came up and there wasn't a soul in the ballpark except maybe he and Manuel that were thinking he might drop a bunt down to start the inning. So he did. 2-0 count. Sheffield pops it up. Third base, Moore. There's one. Not quite sure what that was.
Well, I think that's not to keep Ryan Church off base. And Church is forced to second.
Yeah.
The infield fly rule, he has to be first and second. And right there you see Melvin. It's a smart play. You know, Church much younger than Sheffield at 40.
Now you think Melvin processed the age factor in that?
Well, I think the speed factor.
Speed factor.
Which goes with age.
Okay.
And Melvin should know.
See, look at him. Look. Yes, I did.
Yeah. Well, he's telling him, Melvin started with Houston, and then Orioles acquired him from the Mets. Not that a lot of guys were playing when he left and came over to Baltimore, but he knows. That's probably Santana yelling at him over there.
That's right.
Both hail from Venezuela.
Did you lose it in the sun? Sheffield, the runner at first base, chance for the double play here. Daniel Murphy up, RBI single, his first time to the plate. 3-1 lead, 5 hits for the Mets, 4 for the O's. Mets have stranded 3 and the Orioles 2 so far. Trying to get the double play ground ball right here. Murphy takes the pitch for a strike. Guajara, left-handers, right-handers, not much difference. 264 for the lefties, 259 the righties. 6 home runs surrendered, 4 have gone to left-handers. That one's going to be a base hit. Into the gap, Jones going over to get it. Sheffield will make the turn. He's going to go to third. Throw will come into second base. And again the Mets putting runners on base at first and third and 1 down.
Yeah, again, this is what Daniel Murphy did last year. And then this year all of a sudden he started pitching him in. You can see the target in, but it doesn't get it in. So again, Murphy, his strength out over the plate. Think about it. Do you ever have to look in until you get the 2 strikes? Nope. And that time he gets another good pitch to hit, so both of them away, and he takes advantage of it. Pretty nice stroke.
11 hits last night for the Mets, and only one of them was an extra base hit, a double. And same thing's happening in this ball game. They now have 6 hits on the board. They have picked up the double by Church. Good changeup right there. Snyder, he grounded out his first time up. A 3-1 lead for the O's, but Snyder's got runners on at first and third and only 1 away. So again, that ground ball for the double play to try and get out of the inning is what Guajara wants. Fastball is going to miss outside to him. 1-1. Snyder's had only 3 hits and 15 at bats with runners in scoring position, and only 15 at bats. And Santos has been doing most of the catching. 1-1 delivery on the way. That will miss away. And it goes to 2-1, number 8 hitter.
And most of that reason, because Santos played well. Snyder was hurt, back and leg problems. He was their starting catcher last year.
2-1 count. And the pitch will be taken down low. This part of the order has done damage so far in these two games. Murphy last night had an RBI. Snyder had an RBI and a couple of hits. Castillo was on with the base hit, got thrown out at the plate. They've been active. 3-1 delivery to him and a towering fly ball. This will get the run in from third. Sheffield tagging. Jones has got it, and the throw will come into second base.
Yeah, your ego says I want to heave it in, but again, you look at the scoreboard. That's only the second run for the Mets. You want to keep Murphy at first, keep him out of scoring position, because you let one go, not a good idea, even on bobblehead night.
Even. And he didn't let it go, and so the runner stays at first base. RBI sac fly though for Snyder, and that will make it a one-run ball game, 3-2. As Brian Snyder will get his 7th run batted in.
And you think that Jerry Manuel is not happy with Ryan Church laying that bunt down when presented with the opportunity? It set up the whole inning.
Yep. Created a run. 2 away. Castillo, strikeout victim, first time up. Pitch is up high for a ball.
And when you do those things and you're successful, again, because of your ability to execute them, you turn the lineup over. You get your better hitters up to the plate more often. I mean, you want to, when you look at this lineup, you want to get, well, Cora's hot, but you want to get Beltran and Wright up there as many times as you can. And how do you do that? Turn the lineup over. Your secondary players. I mean, I look at the Red Sox box score. The bottom 7, 8, 9 last night got 6 hits.
Yep.
And that really does allow a team to score a lot more runs.
Castillo's been hot, as we said in June, hitting .333 coming into this ball game for the month. And will take the pitch up high. And you've got Cora, leadoff batter, waiting on deck. Cloudy night here at Camden Yards. Good ball game underway, though. In the second of 3 in interleague play against the Mets. Orioles are 7-13 lifetime against New York. And that will be over and into the seats and no play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, Castillo. Mets have been putting the pressure on Uehara by keeping people on base. He retired the side in order in the first. A couple of hits in the second inning. A couple of hits in the third. 2 more hits here in the fourth. Two delivered. Force play at second base, and they'll get it. And Dino Roberts end the inning. A run in on a couple of hits with the base runner left on. Orioles up 3-2.
Matt Waiter's going to hit his first major league home run. It looks like a fly ball and just sails out of here. Great plate coverage. And it will give the Orioles a 3-1 lead at the time. So not only his first one, but an important one.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Luke Scott will lead it off here. A 3-2 ball game with the Orioles on top. Scott a strikeout victim his first time up, and a check swing, foul ball. Interleague play for Luke. This is the 36th game. 279 average, 6 home runs, 13 RBIs in interleague action. The Orioles have had tough numbers overall in interleague play since its inception. And a check swing that'll be taken up high. In the month of June, Luke Scott continues to be a big part of this offense. Markakis the leader in hits, Scott in homers and RBIs, Roberts in extra base hits, and Bergeson the pitching leader in June. Taken down low, 2-1 to Luke Scott.
Yeah, Luke's looking down at third base. He sees David Wright playing exactly where Melvin Mora did with Ryan Church. He said, you know, I got to learn how to do that. He said, but this is not the right time. You know, maybe when you're down 2 or 3 runs and there's 2 outs in an inning, just lay one down there. We saw Ortiz do that. And again, it's just, remember if you were a kid, if
just barely.
Well, yeah, but basically, you know, you're playing, if you were playing over the line or they were playing baseball and somebody was playing way back, I'd drop one down because you'd be messing around trying to maybe get a little bit more better at whatever you're trying to do.
That's why you played right or left field only, though. You only had 3 or 4 guys, right?
Yeah. Well, you get the T-shirts out there, and depending on how many
can't
guys,
hit anything to the right or left or
you're
second
out.
base, whichever.
That's right.
Yeah, or you're out. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Tim Redding on the mound for the Mets. 21 wins, 40 losses in his career. 3-2 pitch, jammed him, center field. Beltran under it. He's got it. That's 3 consecutive fly balls that have gone to center. Huff, Mora, and now Scott. One away here in the 4th inning.
Well, you got to stick with the Gold Glovers, but you got Wright with 2 and Castillo with 3 and Beltran with 3. Keith Hernandez, if you want to throw some into the radio booth, he won a bunch of them. Gold Glovers all over the place.
All over the place. Reimold down to third base. Big hop, David Wright. And he's got a big arm over to Murphy. Reimold retired. The man who caught the ball, the first home run, has given it back to Matt Wieters, and his name is Sam Mayfield.
Well, right before the pitch, I looked at the guys next to me. I said, Matt Wieters going to hit his first home run, and I'm going to catch it. No lie. You can ask everybody in the section. Next thing I know, ball's in the air. It's coming right at me. Hits a hand, drops in front of me. Pick it up, and everybody went nuts.
And he did bring it back down. He's got the dark jersey on there. He'll bend over to pick the ball up right there. Matt Wieters' first home run. Then they brought him down to the clubhouse area.
So he can predict home runs. Can you tell us what time it's supposed to rain today?
I wanted to get some numbers out of him. I thought if we just pass on a couple of numbers. And by the looks of the guy to the right, he did in fact call that, because the guy was unapologetically completely stunned. A 3-0 count on Wieters.
Is he swinging away here?
Up high. Third walk surrendered. All right, Tim Redding in the ball game. That'll put Wieters on with 2 down here in the 4th inning. And that will bring up Andino. Andino batting in the number 9 spot, a strikeout victim his first time up. Orioles again will try and mount a 2-out rally here, with Roberts the leadoff batter on deck. Murphy will hold the bag at first. And a chopper to short. Force at second. Shuffled over there. Core to Castillo to get the out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. A 3-2 O's lead. at Southwest.com. And by Corona and Corona Light, official sponsors of the timeout. Relax responsibly. A 3-2 lead for the O's, 3-4-0 here in Birdland. The Mets are 2-6-0 as we go to the fifth inning. Cora, Martinez, Beltran top of the order, and joining us on our Wired Wednesday is going to be Oscar Salazar. Oscar, great to have you with us. Thanks for taking time.
Thank you.
Tell us, where do you see your role with this ball club, and how do you prepare for it right now with the Orioles?
I want to say thank you for the opportunity here. You know my role. I know talk to Dave about it, but I know I'm going to be in a lot of positions. I'm going to be in the outfield too. I'm playing third base already. I'm going to play shortstop a little bit. So, you know, I'm trying to prepare every day in the batting practice. So I work so hard in the middle infield, like shortstop, second base. I take ground ball in third base. So I'll be prepared for every position, and whatever they need me to do, I'm going to do it.
Now, you started, you were about 17 when you started out of Venezuela?
No, I started playing baseball when I was 4 years old, but I gone to Dominican when I was 15 and signed my professional contract the day after I turned 16 years old.
And when you grew up, who was your favorite player? Did you idolize a player?
No, I just look like Osvaldo Guillén, Ozzy Guillén. I love the way he played baseball. You know, happy player. Like he tried to do everything exciting. I love the kind of player like that.
Strikeout is Uehara's fifth as Cora went down. Here's Martinez. He has struck out and flied to center field. Oscar, you're familiar with the Caribbean League baseball and the Winter League that gets played. Can you talk a bit about that? U.S. fans, I don't think, have a real flavor for that. But for players who play in that league and in those games, it's very serious business and very competitive, isn't it?
No, yeah, of course. I'm playing winter ball for 13 years. That was my 13th year last year. So I'm almost play every day over there. It's like I take like 20 days off a year.
Wow.
Like 20 and 1 month a year off. So it's very competitive. Like, you know, a lot of big league guys go over there and work in something, and you have to face those pitchers like Carlos Zambrano, Santana. You see big league guys, Galarraga. So I think it helped a lot of people. It helped a lot of players do job right and try to do the best you can.
Great baseball. That ball sliced, and it is a foul ball, just missing.
What's it like to hit? I mean, you were having an incredible year. You hit over 300 last year at Norfolk. You were hitting 370. What's it like to hit 372? You couldn't have had too many slumps this year.
No, you know, I got this early in the spring training. You know, when I get to the spring training, I got just little slump over there, but I try to concentrate more in the home plate, try to hit the best pitch I can. So when I got sent down to AAA, I'd say, okay, I want to work more in the play, I want to more work in the defense. So when I got to AAA, I just try to hit the ball I want to hit the best pitch I can.
And Martinez takes it to deep right field. Marquez back, not going to have a play, and it'll be up and into the seats, and a ground rule double. So a one-out double puts the potential tying run on at second base. Martinez getting his fifth. We are being joined by Oscar Salazar here in our Wired Wednesday. Oscar, I don't ask this because your playing career is coming to an end, because it isn't. But I always have looked at you and wondered, do you want to be a manager, a coach in baseball when the playing days are done?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes. I like to be all my life in baseball. I don't want to see my house. I want to see my kid grow up and be with my wife and be in the baseball field.
Well,
that about
great.
Covers it, doesn't it? You just, I mean, this has been, you are one of those people, as you said, you started playing at 4. I mean, your whole life has really been the game of baseball, isn't it?
Yes. A couple years ago, like 2-3 years ago, I think my career is going, but I think God gave me another opportunity. I'm glad to be here again.
Well, you're a great presence, Oscar, and I really think you're going to have a whole lot of success after the playing days are done too. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Oscar Salazar of the Orioles joining us on our Wired Wednesday. There are some guys that you just get the feel when you're around them, talking to them, that if they want to stay in the game and coach or manage, they're ready and they're going to be able to do it. And he's one of those people who just kind of comes right out of his pores at you. Here's David Wright, runner at second base, and Uehara gets him to pop it up behind second. Shortstop Andino, and he's got it, and Uehara works his way out of a jam. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. Orioles still lead it by 1. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer back here. Good ball game, Jim.
Really is. You know, Uehara, I mean, when he's had to get people out, he's been able to. You could see the Mets out hitting the Orioles, but the long ball. The Mets don't hit a whole lot of them, especially at home. On the road, maybe the smaller ballparks. But Matt Wieters tonight, first Major League home run, 2-run shot to left field. Didn't hit it that well, but got it out of here. That's what Camden Yards is about. Huge hit.
And Uehara's been able to react to the way the Mets play, which is get guys on base with a single and occasional double, bunt, move people around, and manufacture runs. Uehara so far has been able to get the big out when they've got people on base.
Well, it really is, and I'm kind of looking over your shoulder to see the Oriole bullpen. I think the important thing, this is a guy coming off the disabled list, who's had a couple of starts since then. And the bottom line, I think Dave Tremblay's going to have a short leash. He's pitched very well. He's got out of trouble. He made some great pitches. How about last inning, the one-out double, and then he gets Beltran, who's hitting fourth in the National League, and the league-leading hit, David Wright, to pop up. So he has been very, very good. And again, what we want to do, for at least for the Orioles, try to get more runs for them.
Orioles will try and do that right here against Reading, as Brian Roberts at the top of the order will lead it off. Brian's got an 0 for 2. He is flied out and grounded out in the ball game. 0 for 7 so far in the series. He'll take that one to left field, down the line towards the foul line, and it will be a foul ball bouncing up and into the seats, and the count will go to 2 strikes. Real good crowd on hand here tonight at Camden Yards. You got to think that bobbleheads actually work as far as selling tickets are concerned, because this is a good crowd for the weeknight game, and we'll get a number for you later on. But a lot of folks came out to get the Adam Jones bobblehead and are seeing a heck of a ball game as well.
It's all about Adam, and it should be.
It's all about Adam. He said that. No, he didn't. Yeah. Just kidding. He's never going to say anything like that. 0-2 count. Redding's delivery, and Roberts will take the fastball inside, and it will go to 1-2. And there indeed is bullpen action as Brian Bass for the O's. Bullpen has been outstanding, and it is raining, and raining fairly hard.
Well, they said 9 o'clock, and it's early. Well, it's not early, but the rain is early.
The only saving grace, the wind is blowing pretty good tonight, and the clouds have been going through quickly. 2-2 delivery on the way, and Roberts takes it. Close pitch. The count goes full. Redding thought he might have had him on that, and a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Redding making just his 6th start of the season. 10-11. The delivery on the way, and that ball is going to be fouled away. And it'll stay at a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Redding's been effective at coming back when he's gotten behind on hitters in the ball game. The home run by Wieters really the big blow. The other one, the RBI single by Aubrey Huff, came in the first inning. The walk he gave up to Reimold came around to score ahead of Wieters on the homer, but otherwise he's pitched a pretty good ball game. 3-2 delivery. Roberts again hacks it foul.
Well, he's around the plate. And I think he will tell you, and not to take anything away from Matt Wieters, he said, I didn't think I made that tough a pitch. Now, that's probably the case, but I think we also get an idea that maybe Matt Wieters is going to be as special as people say, because that ball's up and away, and he just kind of casually flicked it out to left field and went 366 feet for his first major league home run.
Roberts on a towering pop-up to shallow right field. Everybody pointing up so Church can find it. He's called off, though. Beltran came over from center and put it away, and Roberts is retired. 2110 Utah Streets, that's the name. And on Sunday, July 12th, you can come to Camden Yards for the debut of 2110 Utah, an area in the right center field bleachers named for Nick and Adam's uniform numbers. For just $21, fans can purchase a ticket and receive a limited edition t-shirt featuring Nick and Adam. This is the place to be July 12th. All about right and center. 888-848-BIRD. On 2110 Utah Street. Reserve your seats. Right out there between the two of them. Here is Adam Jones. He has walked and scored. He came in on the Huff single. So 2 of the 3 walks surrendered by Redding in the ballgame have come around to score.
Oh, did he get away with a slider that ended up in the middle of the plate there? Talked about Reimold with a home run swing. Adam just aired it out. And when you're red hot, you don't miss this pitch. Watch this. Boom. But he doesn't quite center.
That one in the air to right center field, not deep. Church is there. And there are 2 down. Obviously, Redding getting the fly ball outs. Fly ball pitcher here, at least for this ball game. And a very busy center fielder. A quick count. I think that's 5 putouts now that been had in the outfield, and most of them have come recent vintage. Beltran's been real busy in center field. He's hauled in 4 of them. Here's Nick Markakis, 2 down, nobody on. Markakis has 2 singles in the ball game. He's gone 4 for 6 so far in these 2 games. And the slider will miss inside for a ball.
Got about as low as what, 283, and that average up 10 points. Multi-hit games last night and tonight.
1-0 delivery.
I mean, I look at him, and I was talking to Mike Pelfrey, who pitched for the Mets last night, actually got the win, and I said, you know, Markakis is one of those guys. He's kind of like Pete Rose, or he's like, especially like Brett Carew, where you decide, okay, do I want to give him a single to left, or do I want to speed up their bat, especially Brett, like you did right there with a changeup, and think of maybe possible home run ball.
Boy, Nick Markakis has indeed got the bat going again. A 3 for 3 ball game, 3 singles.
Yeah, this is the same pitch that he hit off Pelfrey for the 2-run home run last night. So again, foot down. That's one of the keys to hitting, and then the bat head gets speeded up.
So Markakis gets his 5th 3-hit ball game and his 21st multi-hit game. And again, the Orioles looking for that big 2-out hit, which Aubrey Huff will try and find. He's already got a single and an RBI. Markakis goes. Here's the throw. Snyder. Not in time. Stolen base. Well, when we had Dave Tremblay on, he talked about the green light that Nick Markakis gets. He thinks he's got to jump.
Well, it's only the second steal, and I think one of the things they talked about, Juan Samuel, third base coach, who was a terrific base runner, said, hey, we're going to steal more bases. So again, obviously the time, slow to the plate. Snyder actually throws, usually at least year in and year out, throws well, even though he is coming off the DL with back problem.
Backdoor pitch will miss, and the count goes to 2-0 on Aubrey Huff. The Orioles get a chance now with a big run out there with 2 down. Markakis with good speed and the benefit of taking off on contact with 2 away if Aubrey Huff can put one where they're not. 2-0 delivery to him, and there's that breaking ball again that doesn't, stays up and away, and a 3-0 count.
Yeah, and anytime you steal a base, and there were games when I pitched, it seemed like every time you go out there that inning, there'd be a guy in scoring position. it really reflects not on your pitch count because they're the same amount of pitches, but the difficulty right here. And we can see it. Who are you going to pick to, Moore or Huff? And they pick pitching to Moore. It's just the degree of difficulty and the importance of every pitch when they get runners in scoring position, especially when you're already one run down. He was 2 runs down early on, just magnified, and it makes it that much more difficult to pitch.
So now Melvin Mora will come on. Moore is hit into a double play and flied out. Melvin does have a 5-game hit streak going. They have been mostly singles, as he's hit safely in 14 of the last 17 ball games. The long ball has deserted Melvin. He's not had a home run in the last 32 ball games, but he did get out of the RBI funk. For the Orioles this season, 2-out RBIs. Initially, they found a lot of them. That has dropped down a bit. Orioles 241 with runners in scoring position and 2 away. They had been up around the 280 mark. Mora will try and get one here. Markakis on for the single. He's at second. Huff on at first. Orioles up by just 1. A very light drizzle continues to fall, but these clouds are just ripping on by.
And they really put a shift on Melvin Moore. I mean, Martinez is out in left center.
Grounded towards the middle, and he's got a base hit. Markakis will score. Huff at second gets back, and the Orioles have a 4-2 lead on a 2-out RBI base hit.
Melvin's done a nice job of hitting the ball all over the field. That's 21 of his hits to left. This is a 14th hit up the middle and 11 to right. And again, the infield has been speeded up a little bit here at Camden Yards, so that ball gets through the infield easily.
Good job by Mora. That is a very big run.
Well, they chose to pitch around Huff once the count got to 2-0, and again, you're just trying to play your percentages. Barry Manuel just taking a gamble, and it doesn't pay off because Redding hits the ball in the middle of the plate and Melvin takes advantage of it. 17
RBIs for Melvin Mora on the season. Luke Scott with a big cut on the off-speed delivery. Luke has struck out and flied out to center field in the ball game. Scott hitting at .311 on the year. The Orioles DH with a 5-game hit streak coming into the ball game. And the Orioles could use the extra base hit right here with a couple on. 0-1 delivery to him. Popped him up. Second base. And the fans getting on Castillo, since on YouTube you can see him dropping a ball last week against the Yankees off A-Rod's bat. Orioles up by 2. games, not counting this one, since he last won, picking up 4 losses, 4 no decisions in those 8. But tonight Jimmy leaves with a chance to be the winner.
Oh, he certainly does. He was magnificent. Again, scattered to 7 hits and only 2 earned runs. He didn't walk anybody, so that's what 34 innings here at Camden Yards this year with only 2 base on balls. He made them hit them. They hit the ball all around, but again, it's nice to hand the ball to Brian Bass, as good as he has been, to make it very simply. Over his last 10 appearances, 23 innings, so he's been a workhorse. He's given up 3 earned runs, 1.17 ERA.
And he will go to work. And the pitch is taken outside. Ryan Church, big part of this ball game. Double, single, run scored. The RBIs for the Mets have gone to Murphy on an RBI base hit and Snyder on a sac fly. Pitch will miss down low. Each team has left 5 on base, and the Mets have actually out-hit the Orioles in the ball game 7-6. Bass will work to Church, Sheffield, and Murphy here in the top half of the 6th inning. 2-0, hard hit. Roberts oodles of time the way that ball was done. Church is retired and 1 away here in the inning. Brian Bass, as Jim said, has become the go-to guy in the bullpen. 43 innings, 44 hits, only a .262 average against him. That 4-1 mark and a 3.53 ERA. And of late, even better.
And you go back early on. I mean, he pitched, came in relief of Adam Eaton on a Sunday afternoon in early April, gave up 4 home runs, wind blowing out. I mean, he had to make some adjustments. He certainly did that. His stuff is very, very good. Just trying to stay more closed, gets his arm up. I mean, 93 to 95, pretty good sink. I don't think he wants to be behind all the Met hitters tonight, which he did to Church, who did hit it sharply. Sheffield's no bargain either. But again, 2-0 in the first 2 guys. And again, you know, such a feel, and you come in and you got yourself a 2-run lead, and he's been pretty automatic, but it's not automatic.
2-0 count. Sheffield will look to drive one right here with nobody on, and the pitch will be outside to him. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 4th, and has been a strikeout victim. Big numbers lifetime against the Orioles. A .315 hitter with 18 homers and 73 RBIs. And Bass comes in. He was taking all the way, and the count will go to 3-1 on Sheffield. Gary Sheffield, among the many categories he's moved up in, the base on ball category. He's drawn a lot of walks. He's passed Jimmy Fox, 20th place in the all-time list in free passes to go along with everything else.
Well, again, he doesn't strike out much. He hits a lot of home runs, 506. He's 25th on RBIs. He can just flat out hit, and he makes you throw the ball over the plate.
And is scary to watch if you're standing on the mound. 3-ball, 2-strike delivery to him. That one in the gap to left center field. At his way back and add another. Goodbye. Home run. Gary Sheffield. And it is a 1-run game again.
Yeah, I don't think you want to throw him 6 straight fastballs. And once again, because Brian Bass fell behind, 2-run lead, doesn't want to walk him. So again, he just kind of timed it. And then this is 5:07. And it got out of here in a hurry. Yeah, he gives him toughness. He gives him the home run bat. I mean, he's a gamer.
So Gary Sheffield trying to move in on Mel Ott, who is 23rd on the list of the all-time home run mark. Sheffield now has 507. Ott has 511. Sheffield gets his 19th against the Orioles. He's had the 13th most home runs against the Orioles of the 30 teams that he has had home runs against. Daniel Murphy, and he takes the pitch for his strike, and we are back to a 1-run ball game again.
You see Fernando Tatis on the bench going, whew, as that ball hit hard.
That's a Sheffield kind of homer right there. Bass, that is one of the numbers that is very high for Brian, and one of the reasons that game Jimmy talked about. That's 8 home runs now that have been given up in 44 innings pitched.
Yeah, the arm. Yeah, the arm seems a little low, and again, your arm slot dictates what you're going to do. And that's
Roberts game
said, yeah, Murphy having a terrific night.
Boy, the bottom of the order. He's 3 for 3 now with an RBI. Well, the Mets get the potential tying run on with only one away here in the 6th inning.
Well, if you drop your arm, Rick Kranitz is going to come out because he helped Brian make the adjustment, and your arm's down a little bit, the ball's a little bit flatter, so you don't throw strikes. Stuff isn't quite as electric, and every hitter he's faced, he's been behind, so he's been somewhat predictable. He did throw a curveball, didn't get it over, so they're looking fastball, and he's been in fastball counts, and so far they've been able to take advantage of it.
Oh, we have a moment. A couple of notes brought to mind by Sheffield's home run. A couple of interesting things developing. We're going to follow along with them as we go along this season. One, Joe Mauer. Mauer went 4 for 4 last night. Has hit well over 400 here since getting off the DL, 429. And it's the highest average by a player with 150 at bats in 15 years. Can he be the next 400 hitter? The last one was Ted Williams in 1941. And to go along with that, can Albert Pujols win the Triple Crown in the National League? Right now he is 8th in average. Wright is the leader, hitting .365. Pujols is hitting .326. Pujols leads in homers by 1, and he's 3rd in RBIs, only 5 behind Prince Fielder, the leader. And it'll be interesting to follow that, and it would really be something if you had a guy, the first guy to hit 400 since Williams and the first guy to win the Triple Crown since Yaz, did it in the same year. And they both have a legitimate chance, I think, of getting that done. Here's Brian Snyder, ground ball up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit just out of the reach of Bass. Jones will hold the runner at second. So Bass struggling here in the 6th inning. There have been 4 Mets up, a ground ball out, a homer, and 2 singles.
Yeah, all balls have been hit sharply, and it's just one of those nights where it looks like the arm's just down a little bit. So again, the ball looks like it's moving, but it stays on the same plane. And again, when you get behind hitters, when you become somewhat predictable, very difficult sometimes to get them out. It's great to have 4 pitches, but you have to make the hitter think that you have at least more than one that you can get over, and that hasn't been the case so far for Brian.
1 away. Orioles now face the number 9 hitter Castillo, and he has been a strikeout victim and hit into a fielder's choice. Very tough to double up with the speed that he has, especially batting left-handed. 2 on, 1 down. Castillo hitting .276. Orioles with a 1-run lead, and he took a wave on that one. Left-hander Mark Hendrickson in the bullpen.
Yeah, Baez pitched last night, has yet to pitch in back-to-back games. You do have another after. Matt Albers, of course, he pitched an inning last night. Steele was also in last night's game.
1-1 delivered.
Yep.
Mets have cut the pressure on throughout in this game. They've left a runner on base in every inning except the first. Koji Uehara with the 2 runs, 7 hits over 5. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Castillo takes it a little further away, and he wouldn't go after it. 2-2.
Well, Jerry Manuel very patient. His bullpen's still not up tonight, and they are an awfully good bullpen. 3.18 ERA, first in the National League, yet nobody's even warmed up.
2-2 delivery on the way. Castillo. Oh, look at the reaction on the mound by Bass.
Well, it just ran outside, and again, when you drop your arm, the ball runs more laterally. Doesn't go down. You can see him just getting under a little bit. And just one of those nights where he just hasn't really been able to find his release point that has been so outstanding.
Now, Matt Wieters got up and gave the infield signs. You got runners at second and third, only 1 away. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Will Jerry Manuel put them in motion here? Probably not, because Castillo's not somebody you're going to likely double up even on a ground ball. And the last thing you want to strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Of course, he makes a lot of contact.
Raining harder. 3-2 fouled away. It looks like we're going to play the rest of this ball game in intermittent showers.
Well, I heard all kinds of things. 60% chance of rain after 9. Somebody said 10. And again, it started raining about 8:30. A little bit earlier than expected. Of course, if you're umpires, you just don't want the field to become unplayable.
3-2 delivery on the way, and Bass can't leave it again.
Well, it just ran off the corner again. You know, he's been so good, and that ball wasn't, it looks like a strike, but it's outside, and it just ran again laterally because of his arm position tonight. He has been so good, and you know, you close your front side, the arm gets up. If it opens a little bit early and you have nights like that, it drops down, the ball runs lateral, and your stuff's just not quite as sharp.
With Cora coming up, Hendrickson will be coming in. Bases loaded, 1 down. Orioles lead by 1. Out of DePere, Wisconsin, outside of Green Bay, a big Packers fan. We're going to talk about that with him. Also went to Clemson University. Jason Birkin will be our subject in covering the bases tomorrow. Brought to you by Home Depot, and we'll be starting the game tomorrow. More saving, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot. Visit homedepot.com/spring. A problem area for the Orioles right now. Left-handers out of the bullpen. Dave Tremblay said before the game today, not real confident, and to the point of almost forgetting about lefty-righty matchups and just looking at who may be best.
Yeah, and Hendrickson started the year early, and you know, Cora hits lefties well. He's hitting .333. Hendrickson came in the last time he pitched was Friday night. Did give up the home run to a right-hander. Martin Prado hit that home run, high fly ball down the left field line, but not great numbers, 298 lefties against him, but not one of those dominant guys like George Sherrill. The only lefty all year long that you've really been able to rely on is your closer. He's been lights out. I mean, Sherrill's his lefties are 3 for 29, 103. Everybody else has been a little bit of a struggle.
Big moment here. Cora's up, bases loaded, only 1 away. He is singled 1 for 3 in the ball game. Orioles lead by 1. Mets threatening. The breaking ball will miss outside. On at third base, Murphy, who delivered a single after the home run by Sheffield. Schneider followed with his own single at second, and the walk to Castillo, who was on at first. So Bass worked only a third of an inning, gave up a home run, 3 hits. 2-0 delivery on the way, taken for a strike, and the count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, Huff in at first, so if there's a sharp ground ball, I would imagine he'll come home with a 1-run lead.
Orioles trying to protect it a bit here in the 6th inning. Everybody else back, of course, if they can get the ground ball for the double play.
And a couple of bats for Cora with 1 hit against Hendrickson. Lifetime.
2-1 delivery is going to miss outside. Nowhere to put him, and the count will go to 3-1 on Cora.
Well, there's also nobody up behind him in the bullpen.
Cora's walked 15 times while striking out only 12 times. And some 90-plus at bats. 3-1 delivery, and got that one in, just challenged him with it, and it's 3-2.
Well, there are times in a game, and that was one of them, When you're Mark Hendrickson, you just have to say, you know what, 3-1. I have no place, as you mentioned, to put him. You've got to throw it for the middle. Hopefully it won't go there. It actually did. Had a pretty good pitch to hit, fouled it back. And again, 3-2. Well, pretty much you got to do the same thing. Okay.
Put it in the strike zone and hope. 3-2 delivery on the way. He did, and it's fouled off by Cora. Pretty good pitch. And to go down to get.
You know, Mark, he does have the big curveball. He's got a little bit of a slurve. Probably his best off-speed pitch is his changeup, but has yet to throw one. In fact, every pitch, all 5 of them have been fastballs. And that's what happens once again. We saw Brian Bass kind of get caught in that situation because he didn't command anything else. And that's the same thing for Mark.
Cora will ask for the timeout. Cora's 1 for 3 with the bases loaded this season.
You see that number, 444, hitting 3-2.
Very patient hitter.
Well, look where he's going to do. I mean, look at him choking up. I mean, he's down on the bat a little bit.
The outfield is in and over, much the way they play Castillo, only a few steps deeper. 3-2 delivery on the way. Cora takes it, and the game's tied on a bases loaded walk. So Murphy will score. Cora will be credited with the RBI, and that will drive a manager nutso.
And now it looks like Matt Albers will get up and start tossing. Beltran, who's on deck, is a switch hitter. So he comes out and takes his warm-up swings.
So back-to-back walks by the bullpen. One by Bass, one by Hendrickson. And it is a 4-4 ball game. The bases will remain loaded. And Fernando Tatis is coming on as the pinch hitter. Tatis will pinch hit in the second spot for the 20-year-old Martinez. Tatis has been getting time at second. Conference on how they want to pitch him here. Fernando Tatis, like Sheffield, can take some blistering cuts. He's hitting .259, a couple of homers, and 13 RBIs on the season. He does not get cheated at the plate. And amazingly to me this year, he has struck out only 9 times and drawn as many walks as he has struck out.
Well, again, this is a guy that he played for the Orioles for a brief time. I mean, last year he was the National League Comeback Player of the Year. Had a terrific year for the Mets. You know, they platooned him in right field and whatever, but I mean, this year because of the injury to Delgado, he's had to play first base. I watched him last week. He was actually pretty agile over there. But again, remember the situational hitting drills, the 80 curveballs, hit the ball the other way. Jerry Manuel and Howard Johnson, the hitting instructor, they almost tell you, hey, you got to be a situational hitter. We're not going to talk about it. We're actually going to do it.
Well, here's the situation. Fernando Tatis, he's already had 1 grand slam this year. He is 2 for 5 with the bases loaded. Hendrickson has the sacks loaded here, only 1 away. And a tie ball game. Schneider's the lead runner now. Castillo and Cora behind him. In the dirt, Wieters with a stop. And as he did with Cora, Hendrickson falls behind on the count, 2-0. Dave Tremblay talking about the lefties in the bullpen. Mark Hendrickson and Alberto Castillo before the game said you get 3 strikes when you're out there and you're brought in to get left-handers out. He said right now we're at 2 strikes. Ground ball towards second base. Brian Roberts, there's one. Relay and Dino, they get the double play. Tatis, the pinch hitter, hits into the double play to end the inning. But a couple of runs in, including a homer by Sheffield, and this game's tied at 4.
batting practice from the field and even meet some of his favorite Orioles before the game. George also got great seats for tonight's game behind home plate. Check out Orioles.com for the next VIP experience contest for your chance to enjoy a night at Oriole Park like never before. Plus, when you register at Orioles.com, you can subscribe to Warehouse Wire, the Orioles' official weekly email newsletter. Gary?
Well, battling on here in this one is Tim Redding, the starting pitcher. He's still in the ball game. Fernando Tatis goes into left field for Martinez. That's who he hit for. And the game's tied up again. Reimold's ground ball. David Wright up. And does not get him. An infield hit. Reimold beats it out, a leadoff single.
Well, I had a chance to play for Cal Ripken Sr. and then his son Junior, and he ran every ball hard. I mean, this is, pretty good breaking ball, except Wright's got to go so far. Cora, the shortstop, no chance, and then wet infield. And if you don't run hard, you don't beat this out. So it's certainly not routine, but he's going as fast and as hard as he can, and he beats it easily.
So the Orioles get the leadoff man on. The first hit of the ball game for Reimold. Wieters, who delivered his first major league home run in the second inning off Tim Redding, stands in with nobody out. And the throw over and just kind of a fall back into the bag. 7 hits in the ball game for the O's. Game tied at 4, bottom of the 6th inning. And before we go any further, the meeting will take place at the mound here. The bullpen has not been active in this ball game, but they're going to get it going.
Yep. They certainly are.
They may want a little time right here while this meeting goes on. Dan Warthen out there.
Well, probably see how, well, of course, they were sitting next to each other right before he came out there. But again, the time of the game when you get through the lineup for the second, third time, you better focus. And throwing over there on a rainy night with Reimold up, maybe he's going, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, not even a step off the bag.
Yeah. The one thing, if he's a base stealer, and he's got a pretty sizable lead. Once stole 14 bases in the minor leagues. Not in recent years, though.
Slider will miss down low to Matt Wieters. This has been a seesaw ball game as the Orioles got one in the first, got tied up in the second, took a lead in the bottom of the second, tied up in the fourth, took a lead in the bottom of the fifth, tied up in the sixth. 1-0 count. Redding's delivery. Wieters takes it. It's a strike. 1-1. And
go
again,
back,
these showers are in and out and just barely drizzling now.
And they go back to the home run, fastball up and away, and then walk them the next time.
Orioles 7 hits, the Mets 10. A lot of base runners, 7 left on by the Mets, 5 by the O's so far. Reimold off first base. Long look and the 1-1 delivery. And Wieters will take that one away. And it'll stay at 2-1. Tim Redding has stayed away, or at least tried to, in the inside part of the plate. Anything on the inner half to Matt Wieters in the ball game.
Well, that's what was so impressive to me. Most of the hits left-handed have been middle in, but that home run was up and away, and he took it the other way.
2-1 delivery to him. That will be up and misses. And Redding's got to be close to the end as Wieters gets a 3-ball 1-strike count. Wieters hitting .219 left-handed, .267 right, limited at bat so far. Bear in mind it is only his 14th game, and just closing in on the 50 at-bat figure since being called up. Reimold off first base. Tim Redding with a 3-1. Runner goes, hit in the air, center field. Atom ball just picked up now by Reimold. He'll make his way back to first and get back, having to touch up on his way back. So Wieters hit it hard, but out on the play by Beltran in center. Tomorrow, spend your lunch hour with Orioles reach and O's rookie outfielder Nolan Reimold. He'll be at the ESPN zone in the Inner Harbor, on hand to answer some questions, talk some baseball, sign some autographs, noon until 1. Joe Angel will be there from the O's Radio Network. That's going to be tomorrow, noon to 1, ESPN zone on the Inner Harbor. And Redding is done for the night, but he battled on. He'll be responsible for the runner on at first base, and he had to work through a lot of jams. He leaves with the ball game tied. Go to StubHub, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Orioles. Upcoming games this series will conclude tomorrow, and then the team will be on to Philadelphia for the weekend set. Jason Birkin tomorrow against Livan Hernandez, who is 5-1 for the Mets. It'll be Hill, Ferguson, and Guthrie in Philadelphia against Bastardo, Happ, and Cole Hamels.
Bobby Parnell, we saw him last night, came in with a 6-2 lead and faced two batters they both got on. He gave up a couple of runs. Now, he did throw in the upper 90s. We didn't see a whole lot of other. Big, tall right-hander, starter last year at Double-A affiliate for the Mets.
And a breaking ball that comes in a hard slider to Robert Andino. Andino is 0 for 2, a fielder's choice, and has struck out. He is 0 for 4 in the 2 games. 31,906 the announced attendance. And they're seeing a heck of a ball game tied up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Throw over again, and Reimold back to the bag. 1 down. Parnell is a flamethrower. Even the breaking balls that he throws tend to be really hard, like that slider you saw. 33rd appearance. He's done a lot of work. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Check swinging a ball inside. They want to check it first, and a strike call. Mark Wegner.
And there go on the swing, and
that was close.
Yeah, last year he was 10-6, 127 2/3 innings, and then went up to AAA. He was with the Mets for 5 innings at the end of the year, but he does have an awfully good arm.
1-1 delivery on the way. Take it in the air to center field. A few steps back. Beltran is there, and he's got it. And there are 2 down.
Well, we told you about the Mets. They come in with a 3.18 ERA. That is the best in the National League. There's their ERA at home and on the road a lot different because, again, we told you Citi Field, not like Yankee Stadium. It is not a hitter's paradise. Good place to pitch.
Oh, the runner at first after the leadoff single by Reimold remains there, 2 down. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 putouts. I think for center fielder Beltran so far in the ball game. He has been busy. 2 down. Bobby Parnell delivers, and it'll be taken by Brian Roberts. Brian looking for his first hit of the series. 0 for 8 in the 2 games. 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of fly ball outs and a ground ball out. If Reimold is going to think about running, it's now. Roberts gets the advantage while he's there of that hole between first and second. And the 1-0 delivery to him. Slider misses. 2-0. A real struggle for these 2 ball clubs. Reimold extends the lead, maybe a half a step. 2-0 delivery. Roberts will take it away. 3-0. So Parnell, control problems. At least against Brian Roberts. You got Jones waiting on deck. So he works against the left-handed switch hitter for the Orioles. 3-0 delivery. Roberts taking all the way. That is in there for a strike.
Yeah, ninth round draft choice back in 2005, so pretty much rushed to the big league. Kind of pitches like I did, where you have overpowering stuff and you hope anywhere in the strike zone they call it.
3-1 to Brian Roberts. Roberts to second base. Castillo. And that will do it in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. 6 complete. 4-4.
4-2 lead. 507th, a lifetime home run for Sheffield. Bases loaded. 4-3 Orioles. Walks the Cora, and then the double play ball. So Hendrickson comes in, gets out of trouble. You can see Markakis with a great night. Matt Wieters with his first career home run, and Gary Sheffield doing what he's been doing forever, it seems, hitting home runs. As he smoked one in the left field seats. Jimmy Johnson comes on, the sinker baller, and there are the numbers for him.
Johnson now needs to put in a couple of innings here. This is another one of these games where, with a starter going just 5 innings, you're asking the bullpen to carry a big load. And Jim Johnson, the rested one, last pitched on the 12th against Atlanta, and only a third of an inning, gave up a couple of hits in that appearance. 4-4 ball game, 7th inning, ground ball towards second base. Beltran retired. Nice play by Roberts. So he's been held to a single in 4 at-bats, and 1 pitch and 1 out for Jim Johnson here in the 7th inning.
Well, that's what he does best. And you talked about his last appearance against Atlanta. He came in throwing 97. He'd had 5 days off and eventually got himself in trouble guiding ahead with his fastball and trying to get people out with a changeup and the curveball. He did not have to do a good job that night of reading the bats of the Atlanta hitters. But right there, he's a great, he's got a good curveball, doesn't throw it over too much, but his sinker is his best pitch. That's what he threw to Beltran.
And now faces Wright. Wright has gone 0 for 3 in the ball game, 2 for 8 in the series. He still has the 11-game hit streak. The leading hitter in the majors with 31 RBIs in his last 43 ball games. And tied for 7th in the league in doubles with 19 of those. He's put up great numbers on the road as well. Pitch to him. That's the pitch that they have been able to get him with.
Well, Koji Hart doesn't throw as hard. That's 96 diving. Jim Johnson lengthened his stride last year, and all of a sudden the ball will start on the middle of the plate and just keep on running in.
1-2 delivery, fouled off. Wright is having to make an adjustment, seeing a lot of pitchers that are in and up on him that he can't catch up to. Talking to Keith Hernandez, the Mets broadcaster, former first baseman, about it. And that's what the book is becoming on Wright, at least for the moment. So he's going to have to make some adjustments on that. See where Johnson goes. Back inside, but missed with it. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
At 98. And again, Jim Johnson, most tall pitchers, he's about 6'5". They shortened their stride last year. He lengthened it. Just gave him better rhythm.
3-2.
But it's difficult to pitch in. The one thing about Koji Uehara, we know about we called him Mr. Splitter in our PNC scouting report, but he commanded his fastball very well tonight. Jimmy Johnson just relying more on the sink.
And there's the one inside and got him. And he went around on it. And an unhappy David Wright heads off. Good job by Jim Johnson. Wright retired, and there are 2 down here in the inning. The Orioles have announced a series of baseball camps designed for boys and girls 7 to 16. The Orioles Baseball Summer Camp, 4-day instructional program, player appearances, current player, former Oriole, all kinds of chances for instructors, autographs, photo opportunities, daily lunch, and giveaway of Orioles tickets. Visit Orioles.com and click on Fan Forum to register. That ball taken in the air to left field, and Adam ball. Reimold there. Church retired. Good job by Johnson, who gets it done in a hurry. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly.
consecutive innings without giving up an earned run, and he is in a position to get his first win. Bowie leads right now 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Also want to mention Troy Patton was promoted AAA Norfolk. He made his debut on Tuesday night. He did get the loss, 6-inning pitch, gave up 5 earned runs on 7 hits. Gary?
Thank you, Amber.
Yeah, how about our #1 draft choice from last year, Brian Mattis?
2 more names.
Is he ever going to give up another run?
Heading north.
Heading north.
Yes, he is.
And then Troy Patton, along with the 7 hits, I guess 3 home runs. But what you like, he still pitched into the 6th inning. In fact, they got 6 innings. So Mr. Bobblehead in a tie game.
He has
the drama builds.
Yep,
doesn't it?
Yep. He's due here on his night. He will work against Parnell, who delivers that fastball. So this is one of those mano-a-mano situations, because Adams certainly doesn't mind hitting against the fastball pitcher. Leading it off here, bottom half of the 7th inning. A walk, a run scored, a ground ball, and a fly ball out. And the pitch is taken outside for a ball.
And when you're a young pitcher and you miss with a breaking ball, and you could see 90-mile-per-hour slider, you know Adams sitting on a fastball. So either you're, of course, you trust your stuff, or you come back with another slider. And right there, that's going to be about 97, 98 actually. So Johnson's throwing 98.
He wanted that one.
Yeah,
he can hit that. I mean, that's something Adam Jones can drive.
Yeah, it's got to be out over the plate a little bit more, though.
Get the arms extended. And that's what Parnell's trying to prevent him from doing here.
I mean, you're hitting off Bobby Parnell's fastball anyway, because it's that good. It's got that kind of velocity.
1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be fouled away. Big averages against Parnell. Left-handers 359 and right-handers 290. So the batting average against him has been pretty high both ways.
Well, again, a lot of injuries on this club, and to their starting staff and whatever. So he probably rushed a little bit to the big leagues. It was more about velocity, and probably at this juncture in his career, more of a thrower than a pitcher.
And got him on the inside corner, and no argument there. And our freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Now take a look right there. There's your first at bat. A nice little crisp single on a changeup to right field, and then once again, this time a fastball, and then the third time. And you can see the bat had each of them tonight out in front.
And we're going to get a pitching change. That will be it for Parnell with 1 down here in the 7th inning. He gets the strikeout against Jones, and with the hot mark. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Left-hander against left-hander, Pedro Feliciano.
Yeah, same matchup as last night. And where is Jose when we need him? Probably singing somewhere, but
light my fire. Nick Markakis.
Yeah, back-to-back strikeouts for Pedro against Markakis and Huff last night. So at least you get to see him. Nick comes in against lefties at 234. Huff on deck hitting lefties at 200.
3 for 3 ball game tonight and a run scored for Nick. Aubrey Huff's got an RBI. Melvin Moore has picked up an RBI. Matt Wieters 2 RBIs with a homer. The 4 on the board for the O's. Feliciano's pitch is outside for a ball, and the count will go to 2-0.
So let's see if Nick gets a fastball and a fastball count. Last night, Feliciano was ahead of both Markakis and Huff, and they saw the big sweep and breaking ball that he has.
234 off the lefties with 1 home run for Markakis this season. The 2-0 delivery he's taking, and it is in there for a strike. He was going to make him throw a strike. 2-1. John Green, whom we've seen in game 1 in the bullpen. Aubrey Huff waiting on deck. Tie game in the 7th. Feliciano, the 2-1 delivery. And that rides inside, and Markakis forces him into a 3-1 count. And Feliciano's only allowed 4 first batters out of 35 to reach base against him coming out of the bullpen this year. Markakis will take a timeout here. The classic matchup here late in the ball game.
Is it ever?
3-1 count. And it'll go full 3-2.
Well, again, arm angle, deception. He starts way on the first base side of the pitching rubber. He steps at you. Got the big sweep and breaking ball. We haven't seen it yet to go with it. It looks like to me he's got pretty good sink. Last year led the major leagues with 89 appearances. There's a workhorse.
Here's the 3-2 delivery to Markakis on a chopper. They were playing that way. Cora can't get it, base hit. Quality at bat, and Nick Markakis has a 4-hit ball game, 4 singles tonight.
You know, I was talking to Alex Cora, and he charged the ball last night, and I said, you really came and got that ball very quickly. He said, because the infield is very hard here. Now, we haven't heard that all year long. And all of a sudden, ball's carrying through. A little top spin. Cora's trying to catch it. As you mentioned, shift up the middle. And maybe gets off the glove a little bit. Slow it down. So a 4-for-4 night for Nick Markakis.
That's his second 4-hit ball game of the year. The Mets have the potential go-ahead run on with their 8th hit of the night. Here's Aubrey Huff. Single walk and is flied out. He has an RBI, 42 in the year. Almost got away. Good stop by Snyder. Really had to do a little knee walking on the inside.
Now look where Brian Snyder is. Look where the ball goes. Nick Markakis already, and he's got a big lead already with a steal tonight. And he's going to get that lead way out there. I don't know what kind of move Feliciano has, but he's very, very quick to the plate. I mean, that's a huge lead.
Aubrey hitting 200 off the left-handers. Will take the pitch in for a strike, and it goes to 1-1. 1 down here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, you want to deliver the ball to home plate under 1.3 seconds, and it looks to me he's about 1-1 or maybe less. About as quick as you can get.
Very short step, very low. And the fastball is right there. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles trying to get to a number that they haven't reached in a while, and that's that 4-run number. They've had more than 4 runs only twice in the last 25 games. They've got 4 in this one, and they've got to get more if they're going to win it. That is inside. Feliciano takes the count to 2-2. Feliciano clearly likes to work hitters. Trying to get Nick Markakis to chase a couple of pitches away on Aubrey Huff. He's coming with that fastball inside on him, trying to catch the inside corner and quick to the plate. 2-2 delivery. Huff takes that one to right field. On his way back. Goodbye. Home run. Aubrey Huff. A 2-run shot, and the Orioles are back on top 6-4.
talked about adjustments last night. He struck out. This time he gets a hanging breaking ball. Third home run against left-handed pitching. Ryan Church took a couple of steps and just watched it sail onto the courtyard here. The flag court out in right center field.
So Aubrey Huff gets out of the home run drought. He hadn't had one since May 26 against Toronto. He gets one here, and the Orioles are back on top. Melvin Mora for a strike. So Feliciano, who was brought in to get the left-handers out, gives up a single to Markakis and a 2-run homer to Aubrey Huff. Bear in mind the numbers we gave you. Feliciano, left-handers 125 off him. Melvin Mora a single and 3 times to the plate. Melvin a chopper towards the middle and another base hit. So a 2-hit night for Mora. And the Orioles keep it going against Feliciano here in the 7th inning with only 1 down. And more action. Brian Stokes up in the bullpen.
I guess the irony is Feliciano's given up 4 home runs, 3 to lefties, even though the numbers, as we mentioned, batting average wise, have been that low. Keep leaving him in because of the matchups. Dan Worthen out to talk to him. And it's really about making quality pitches. You know, the Markakis ball, you know, to Nick's credit, he hung in there with 2 strikes, just hit a pink it back up the middle, and then he hung a slider. And then Melvin Mora found a hole. But again, that's, and I don't think the first, 101 games is only a microcosm of the way Huff and Markakis can hit lefties, because they really hang in against them. I mean, power numbers go down. It does against from just about every lefty. But they are tough outs for left-handed pitchers, even the specialists like Feliciano.
Orioles trying to get some more as Luke Scott stands in 0 for 3 in the ball game. Runner at first base, 1 out. Scott, that one to the hole the other way. Great stop, Cora, and gets the out at second base on a beautiful pick by Luis Castillo.
Yeah, the amazing thing about major league shortstops, and specifically here about Cora, is that you know they don't practice these plays. So again, he's kind of going over towards third. He's got to jump back, watch this dive, and then, I mean, that's a backhand over your shoulder toss. So what? Castillo's won 3 Gold Gloves. They ought to give one right there for this play to Cora. I mean, a shovel pass.
Great play.
Yeah, it really was.
Big out.
And then again, he's not their regular shortstop. He's their utility guy.
And a lot of ball clubs, if you had a good hitting offense, Cora can be your everyday shortstop.
And he hits left-handed pitching, being left-handed. I think ideally you'd like to have him maybe be a switch hitter, but doesn't matter. And he really knows his identity. You know, he knows he has to play well defensively. He knows he has to not overswing. He's not a home run guy. And he shows up every day and does that.
Looks like we'll get another pitching change here. Jerry Manuel is on his way out again with Reimold coming up. And Feliciano, the left-hander, on the mound. He doesn't want that matchup, so he'll take the ball. And they'll go to the bullpen yet one more time. Stokes coming on. Orioles have the lead. brought to you by M&T Bank, understanding what's important. Levander Hernandez 5-1 with that 4.33 ERA. Opponents have gotten hits off him with that 2.95 average. Jason Birkin will make his 5th start. He is 1-3 ERA up there, and so is the opponent batting average. They will go against one another in our game tomorrow night.
Yeah, rookie and the veteran. Well, Levon said 1 year in the American League, I wanted to come back here, and I tell you what, he's given him a lot of innings. Brian Stokes, pretty good numbers. He's only been scored on in 3 of his 22 appearances. So again, I mean, that's what you need right here. Try to slam the door and come back against the Oriole bullpen.
Nolan Reimold with a runner at first and 2 down. Aubrey Huff with a 2-run homer in the inning. And Reimold will pop the first pitch up behind the mound. Second base or short. Shortstop wants it. And Cora will put it away. That will do it in the inning, but not before the Orioles get the big blast. Their second home run of the night. This one by Aubrey Huff, his 9th of the year, to give the O's a 6-4 lead. Aubrey Huff, his 9th home run and a 3 RBI night, as he also had a single. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 518-62. Jim Johnson on the mound, the benefactor of the runs scored. So right now he's the pitcher of record, as Uehara again will be non-decision, giving up 2 runs, 7 hits over 5. Bass, the 3rd of an inning, 2 runs on 3 hits. Mark Hendrickson came on and had a walk in 2/3 of an inning. Now Jim Johnson. Gary Sheffield, his home run came in the 6th, 8th of the year. He is 1 for 3. Does have a couple of runs scored in the ballgame. Down low to him and 3-0. Not what Johnson wanted to do.
Well, he started him off with a curveball, and I bet if we went back and looked at his chart, how many curveballs? Maybe 20% all year long. So again, sometimes it's a mystery, but if you're throwing 98 and you're commanding your fastball, it's all right to throw the breaking ball, but do it when you're ahead. And the same pitch probably gets swung at.
Yeah. 3-1 delivery on the way to Sheffield, and that's on the outside corner to make it 3-2.
And when I pitched for Earl Weaver with a 2-run lead, he would make it very, very clear.
Perhaps you'd like to use the language.
No, not that clear. Not that clear, but just, you're not going to be walking guys.
3-2 delivery, and he rifles that one into the seats.
I mean, because at the end of the day, Jimmy Johnson, his sinker is his best pitch. And if you're going to have to trick Gary Sheffield with a 2-run lead, he's going to have some problems. Okay, go after him. I don't mean throw it down the middle. Throw it, let it sink, let him hit a ground ball, get your infield stacked to the left side anyway, anticipating that Sheffield's going to pull the ball.
3-2 delivery to him, and he goes right up the middle and has a base hit off the end of the bat. So Gary Sheffield gets on to lead off the 8th, and the Mets who have hung with it tonight. They've never had the lead in the ball game, but they have come back to tie this game up repeatedly, and now they've got the potential tying run at the plate in Murphy with nobody out.
And if you're a sinker baller, you don't want to hang around the belt. And that's where this ball ends up. So again, I mean, is there a better? I know there's not a better 40-year-old high ball hitter, but he got on top of that ball. I mean, it's almost like he's always chopping wood.
Murphy's had a big night already, as he too has had 3 hits in the ball game. He's picked up an RBI and he has scored a run. He'll stand in against Johnson with nobody out, a runner at first. Daniel Murphy now hitting at .247. He's trying to keep his job at first base. 1-0 pitch on the way, trying to convince the organization that they don't need to go out and make a trade for somebody the likes of Aubrey Huff. Instead, use what they got, Murphy and Tatis. And it was made rather clear that this 3-game set was going to be important in helping that decision along for Omar Minaya and Jerry Manuel, the GM and the manager of the Mets.
And he had a nice game last night. He got a sacrifice fly, the third run in that 4-run inning against Jeremy Guthrie. I mean, really battled him. He saw about 5 or 6 fastballs, finally hit a line drive into right field for the sacrifice fly. And Jimmy Johnson, so, again, your 2 righties, Brian Bass has been terrific. Johnson's been terrific tonight. Both of them are just a little out of sync so far. A 3-ball, 1-strike count. So Murphy. And the reason we tell you that because Bass came in with the Orioles with a 4-2 lead and surrendered it.
Looks fastball, gets it, takes it to left field. Reimold meanders over and puts it away. So Murphy retired as Johnson comes back to get him. 1 away here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, the one thing you're not going to get from Daniel Murphy is a home run guy like Delgado. I mean, he's going to have to do what he did the first 3 times up.
That'll work if he can do that consistently.
Because the Mets come in, I mean, what, they're 7th, they're actually 6th in runs scored in the National League, but they're 1st in average, 1st in stolen bases, 14th in home runs out of 16 teams. So you get the message.
On base.
Yep.
On base percentage, move people around, play D, and pitch well. National League Baseball. Here's Brian Snyder. Snyder is single, RBI and a sac fly, and he is grounded out. Runner at first and 1 down here in the 8th inning. Another ball game in which the offenses have taken charge. 10 runs, 21 hits, and 14 runners left on base so far in the game. 0-1 delivery, and that will miss inside, and it will go 1-1 on Snyder. Castillo, the number 9 hitter, waiting on deck. It's been true for this ball club, the Mets, all year. 75% of their runs come on something other than homers. Tonight they've had the home run from Sheffield for one of them, but the other 3 have been just kind of ground out. Over at first base, Sheffield, who had the leadoff single. Jim Johnson working his 2nd inning, a very effective 7th, as he set the side down in order and in a hurry. 1-2 delivery on the way, and went after it and missed it. 2 down.
Yeah, good sinker to a low ball hitter. Actually, I guess it's a change. It's hard to tell. It's 89 miles per hour. Most guys, the ball goes straight down. And on that last road trip out west, Jim Johnson, we talked about the percentage on the curveball is not where he'd like. Starting to throw the changeup, and it was very effective.
Now Luis Castillo with a runner at first. 0 for 2 and a walk in the game. Comes at him with a fastball and gets it in there for a strike. Trying to get the order turned over. More importantly, to get Sheffield moved up and get a couple on base here. Ground ball to short, force at second base. Andino to Roberts, and that's the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the O's on top by 2. Receive special ticket offers, and Twitter.com/BirdlandInsider, and you can follow the O's there. First to get behind the scenes information straight from the team's communication department. All the Birdland news, just one click
Twitter,
away.
Twitter.
Good ball game, and it rocks along here as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Brian Stokes will stay on. He got the final out against the Orioles to get out of the 7th. Stokes now will work to Wieters, Andino, and Roberts. Matt Wieters, his first major league home run, 2nd inning, 2 RBIs. He has walked and flied to center field. And Wieters takes that one to center field as well. That one got in on the hands. Beltran is there, and he's got it, and one away here in the 8th.
Yeah, the home run, the line drive to center, and then get him jammed a little bit. I'm at the TV behind us. The guy you said that may hit 400, he just did the same. Joe Mauer. He's won a couple of batting titles.
He popped out.
He just popped up to center field. Wieters and Mauer, same breath.
There you go.
You get it. Stokes actually quite a story. Tommy John back in 2003. They picked him up for cash considerations. He was actually 2-7 with an ERA of over 7 runs a game for Tampa Bay before they started winning. That was back in 2007. And then last year, as we look at the Oriole closer George Sherrill getting ready to protect this 2-run lead, at least the 2-run lead. And then last year Stokes pitched down at their AAA affiliate and actually had a terrific year at New Orleans, 10-8, a lot of innings, a lot of strikeouts.
And he earned himself a spot here in this ball club. They're the very good bullpen, the best in the National League coming in ERA wise. Andino's had an 0 for 3 in the ball game, batting at .241 now. The pitcher of record is Feliciano for the Mets, who gave up the 2 runs on 3 hits in just a third of an inning. And it was that big home run by Huff. That one shot up the middle. Andino's on. He's got a 1-out single here in the 8th. And both teams now have 11 hits in the ball game.
A little page right out of Gary Sheffield's book right there. Throwing any high fastballs by me.
Andino on, and the top of the order, Brian Roberts. Brian still looking for his first hit against the Mets. He's had an 0 for 4 in this game, 0 for 9 in the first 2. Orioles love to get something here in the bottom of the 8th to increase that 6-4 lead. Stokes, however, would like to get a new baseball first. Stokes' 23rd appearance. The opponent's hitting .284 off him on the year. He's pitched with base runners on, 27 hits, 23 innings, and 7 walks to go with it. Andino back into the bag.
Well, this Met bullpen reminds me of what Davey Johnson used to say when he was managing the Orioles 96-97. They had Armando Benitez and Randy Myers to finish the games. Alan Mills is it's one of those National League bullpens everybody throws in the mid-90s.
Comes in and strikes people out.
Yep.
Roberts taking, and it is a strike on the outside corner from Stokes. The Orioles trying to set up the rubber match for tomorrow night's game. They can get the victory here after losing last night by a 6-4 score. They have a 6-4 lead here in game 2. 0-1. Way inside, down to second base goes Andino with one away.
Well, you want to make it easier for George Sherrill. Get on those tack-on runs. Right here, a little bit breaking ball down and in. You could see the slide step. Maybe anticipating that Andino was going to steal a base. Didn't need to.
Stokes' first wild pitch of the season puts Andino in the scoring position for Brian Roberts.
And it also allows, it ensures, unless Brian Roberts lines into a double play, that we're going to see Mr. Bobblehead for another time.
Mr. Jones.
Adam Jones on deck.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. Roberts takes it away, and it'll go to 2-1 now. This has been a ball game where the pitchers have really had to work at it. Switzer up in the bullpen. There have just been runners all over the place in this game. All but 2 innings. The Mets have had people on. The Orioles all but 1. Roberts will take another strike, a fastball. That'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Orioles, if they can win this one, would be 4-4 in the homestand and give themselves a chance at a winning homestand tomorrow. Andino, pretty good lead at second. Cora, the shortstop, trying to hold him a bit, but not real tight. Roberts fights it off, 2-2.
Well, Brian, again, we think of Brian as a guy that steals bases and switch hitter and all-star on a couple of occasions. But again, there it is, RSVP, not RISP, over 300. That's better than his 293 batting average. But the Orioles come in as a team with 283, awfully good number.
2-2 count on him. Brian's had great luck in interleague play. A 308 career batting average. This is his 142nd interleague game. He and Aubrey Huff have exactly the same number. Melvin Mora is the Oriole leader with 161 interleague contests. Brian, 8 home runs, 57 RBIs in those 142 interleague games. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Big battle here. Stokes, the long look, down to first and fouled off again.
Well, I think it's a chance, and what did Dave Tremblay say, the Orioles skipper? He said anything that's going to promote the game and all that. But when I used to pitch spring training games in the National League, and of course spring training, you're trying to get in shape, break all the adhesions. When you played a National League team, you wanted to let them know that you could, that you were talented, that you were going to be at your best. And I think that's the same thing applies when you play, obviously, during the regular season. I mean, it's the American League against the National League.
He takes that one to right center field. Pretty good wood on that at the warning track. Hauled in, runner tagging. Beltran's throw will come into second base. So Roberts retired on the long fly ball out. Andino will move over to third. And there are 2 down here in the 8th inning. And here's Adam Jones coming up. There's the bobblehead given away to the first 25,000 that were in the ballpark here tonight. A great collector's item. And he'll get one more shot at it here with the bubble gum going. 318, the 12 homers and 41 RBIs. He started the day 7th in average in the league. There are some of those bobbleheads that will be taken home as souvenirs tonight.
And just think about it. If you can blow bubbles when you're hitting, when you're running the bases, when you're catching fly balls, you're not uptight.
No.
That's the way you want to play the game.
He does that.
Yeah, and they tell you if you throw a ball, don't put the death grip on it. You don't want to sawdust out of the bat. Blowing bubbles, maybe that's Adam's way of relaxing. It's worked so far this year, hasn't it?
Sure has. He's got a 3-game hit streak, maybe his last chance to extend that. A walk and a run scored, 0 for 3. And Jones down to third. That'll even up the count on the foul ball with a 1 ball, 1 strike count.
There's been a tendency over the maybe last couple of weeks just to chase a few pitches out of the zone. That was an example. If you take that pitch, you're going to be hitting 2-0. If you swing at it because it was inside, it's 1-1. It makes a big difference. And the reason it makes a big difference is because the advanced scouts say, hey, don't have to throw him as many strikes as you did earlier in the year.
Andino off third base. The 1-1 delivery to him. Grounded to third. David Wright up. Wright's flip toss overs in time to get the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Will the bobblehead be a good luck charm for the Orioles tonight? We're about to find out. We go to the 9th inning. O's up by 2. Acura Advance. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, Amber Theo Harris as the Orioles and Mets in interleague play go to the ninth. Each team with 11, but the Orioles have the lead, and that will bring the closer on in a save situation, George Sherrill.
Yeah, he's been awfully good. Changes, wind up, just closes his stance, pick the arm up, better arm angle, more direct. Fastball, curveball guy, and 1 earned run in his last 14 games. 12 out of 14 when it comes to saving games. So the Mets want to get somebody on. George wants to get him out.
Jim Johnson with a chance to be the winner, looking to even his mark at 3-3. And Pedro Feliciano on the other side could suffer the loss in this ball game. Feliciano would go 2-2, but there are 3 outs to be had. And the top of the order. Cora leads it off against Sherrill, and the first pitch is up high for a ball. He has delivered a single, reached on a walk, lined out, and struck out in the ball game.
So we told you George just lights out against lefties, 3 for 29. But Tatis, who came in for Martinez, right-handed on deck, then Beltran, and then Wright. So and three pretty good right-handed hitters coming up next. So that's why obviously they want to get somebody on.
And Cora's got that big average against left-handers at .333. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. And Cora will work Sherrill. 1-1 deep into the strike zone into the count if he can, and he goes to 2-1.
Yeah, the one thing that George Sherrill's been much better this year is command. I don't want to jinx him, but only 8 walks in 24 2/3 innings, and walks were a problem last year. 23 strikeouts, and so almost 1 per inning.
Cora will go to left. Reimold coming, and not quite. It was in the seats, and he was almost there with it. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. George Sherrill has made things interesting in many of the save situations this year, with people ending up on base with a base hit or something to start it, and then he's found a way to get it done.
Yeah, don't you think all in all, though, maybe a little bit, at least over the last maybe 10 saves, a little less dramatic?
Much less.
Yeah.
Much less dramatic. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery inside, and the count goes full 3-2.
Of course, that's not to say that that won't be the case tonight. I call him Mr. Excitement. He just laughs.
Another attitude you got to have if that's going to be your job.
Well, yeah, and
3-ball, 2-strike count on Cora. And again, got it in, fouled it away. Cora wanted that one back, thought he should have been able to drive it.
I mean, it seems like Cora's maybe there, and that's the deception we're talking about. He used to have to swing his leg to get close like that, so they decided, you know what, by doing that, you swing it back, you swing it forward, and the arm gets down, so not as much stuff, not as much command.
3-2 delivered again.
And he's going to throw every ball pretty much for the middle of the plate. It usually doesn't end there, and hope that Cora has to put a swing on the ball. The last thing he wants to do is the base on balls.
7 pitch at bats so far. Cora very tough to strike out. 15 walks, 13 strikeouts.
Seems like every at bat tonight has been 6-7 pitches.
He is really good at doing that. 3-2 delivery on the way to him, and Cora loops that one to left, right where Reimold's playing. Got him. 1 down, 9th inning. Let's update you in the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game so far. Wieters on top, Markakis and Huff tied. You could still text in your vote A, B, or C. 51862. The results on O's Extra postgame show.
So they're going with the bonus boy.
So far.
That's what they used to call.
Don't hear that term anymore.
No,
bonus baby. That used to be a common term.
Well, now it's instant millionaire.
Or multi. Foul back.
Instant multi-millionaire. The first time I ever warmed up in instructional league for Harry McKean, who was the major league pitching coach, they taught me, he used to throw a couple before the pitching rubber. He looked at me and he says, you can always tell the bonus boys they never want to throw 60 feet 6 inches. Never ever threw another pitch in front of the pitching rubber. That's all it took.
That was that. Fernando Tatis has had 1 at bat. Tatis came on and ended up hitting into a double play as he pinch hit for Martinez in the 6th inning.
Yeah, you go back and think of that play. That was after the bases loaded walk, and Hendrickson made a great play, pitch, and Brian Roberts
Got him on the inside corner, raising his arms.
Because it's not like he didn't hit the ball sharply. He hit it right back up the middle. Bryan got to it, flipped it over to Andino. And Cora at first, Andino almost sidearmed him right in the forehead, made him get down, and they turned the double play. In a tie ball game at the point.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery. Tatis down to third. Fair ball. It went over the bag. He'll go to second base. Reimold over to play it. Touched by a fan. It'll be a double. So Tatis delivers. That will allow the Mets to get the potential tying run to the plate. Fans booing about the fact the fan reached out and touched the ball there, but it wasn't going to make much difference.
Going to be a double any way you look at it, and that was the one-hand swing on a pretty good curveball.
They're also booing because of the uniform the fans wearing. What do you think? That's the 7th double of the season, and here's a real tough situation. Carlos Beltran standing in, hitting .335. Beltran first ball hitting right field. Nick Markakis coming. Cummings got it. Beltran has been so anxious in this ball game at the plate. He's had a single. He's 1 for 5, but he's been going after first pitches, and that's the second out in the 9th inning. But as baseball drama will do, the game's leading hitter, average-wise, is coming to the plate in the 9th with 2 away.
Well, he's also hitting .510 against lefties. So does that add to the drama?
Don't need to say much except David Wright. He has not had a hit tonight. 0 for 4. He is 2 for 9 so far in the 2 games. So Wright stands in. Runner at second base. Orioles up by 2. That one to center field. The bobblehead man is going to end it. Oh, he got it. This one's in the book for the O's. A 6-4 win, setting up the rubber match for tomorrow. 6-11-0 for the O's, 4-12-0 for the Mets. Johnson will get the win, Feliciano the loss, the save to Sherrill.